welcome back after a tremendous halftime show put on by the Permian Marching Band. Permian leads on the strength of a couple of 2-yard runs, one by quarterback Steve Steen, the other by Mr. Ed Williams, running back. And the Vipers tightened it up with that 10-yard pass right before the half. And our score 14-7 as we go to the third quarter of play. And this is what we talk about every week, at least we did last year, Kyle, that you have it by the offense, and then you get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, exactly right. And the statistics, Barry, kind of show how this game really is, in some instances, is one-sided, but yet it's only a one-score game. Permian with 144 total rushing yards to 14 by Vandergriff. The Permian defense really played well considering their backs were against the wall twice down inside their own 5-yard line. We'll talk a little more after this play.
So they're going to hand the ball off to Mac Parker, and Parker runs into a wall of Permian black and white and is put on his backside back near to the 20 for a 5-yard loss.
That's Orion Farley making the play from his defensive end position. But Ed Williams, 10 carries, 66 yards in the first half. Brother Miller, 2 catches, 33 yards. Steve Steen, 4 of 7 for 53, including 9 for 25 on the ground. We'll come back here in a second.
So second down and 15, going to throw the ball here, looking deep, actually looking to the sideline. He's going to connect it in front of Ademny. Pass is caught by
number 6.
Yeah, by Ausley. Should know now that Ausley lines up on the right, Lawrence on the left.
He's leading them with 2 catches and 47 yards before that catch right there.
And that sets him up with a makeable 3rd and 5.
6 for 17 for 98 yards. Their quarterback, Justin Moore, in the first half. Permian with 12 first downs, and Vanderbilt with 8.
Look out for that tight end, number 30.
I said Vanderbilt. It will be Vandergrift.
Yep, so they have the first down as they get the ball out there to Reese Watson. And Watson able to carry his momentum out beyond the 40-yard line. And they're going to mark it right at the 40, just shy of it actually at the 39. So it's going to be a first down and 10 after the 9-yard gain.
Oh.
Back to the running game that didn't gather but 14 yards in the first half that Kyle mentioned a second ago. Well, they get about 5 here up to the 44.
Good push up by their offensive line on first down there, as you said. Only 14 yards rushing in the first half. The Permian defensive line, their front 7, really controlled the line of scrimmage for the most part. And yet here on the first drive of the third quarter, they've given up a couple of passes and that 5-yard run right there.
Going to hand the ball off inside, not going to get anything. In fact, they're going to lose a yard as they hand the ball off inside to Parker. And he's going to be marked at the 43-yard line, so a loss of 1.
Andy Notley on the tackle from his inside linebacker position.
Going to be 6 yards needed. They need to get out to about the 49-yard line on their side of the field for a first. Permian needs to tighten it up here. Here comes the pressure. Gets the ball away. Caught. How in the heck did he catch that? Ausley makes the catch in front of Adeyemi again. Boy, Adeyemi's been picked on here in the ball game so far, and had a little bit of success against him.
He actually slipped in coverage, Barry. He was backpedaling, trying to get it over the top, and when he went to plant to come make the tackle, he slipped. Once he saw the receiver stop, he slipped and fell to the turf, and that's what made him wide open there for that catch and a first down.
Yep, 19 yards on that one. By the Vipers, it's going to set them up in Permian territory. Going to hand the ball off. Going to be a lot of yards lost here. As up there very quickly to make the tackle was Keaton Armstrong, the linebacker. From the outside, penetrated, made the tackle. A good wrap-up tackle by Kyle and brings him down solo.
Did a really good job of not only wrapping up, but keeping his feet moving and going through the tackle. Got the running back's legs out. You've heard me say in the past, folks, they can't run without those legs, and he did a good job of getting handle around the waist, taking the legs out, and making that play.
So 2nd and 15 after the loss of 5. Almost picked off, threw the ball outside. Receiver Lawrence ran an in route, and it goes into no man's land. He tried to get a pick play on Schauner, but he and the quarterback weren't on the same page.
Yeah, they ran a little switch route up there, as you said, Barry. The outside receiver came in. The inside receiver came off of him to the outside. Good pressure and not very good execution by the Vandergrift quarterback there. An incomplete pass, and here's a big 3rd and about 14 for the Viper offense. The Panther defense needs to shut it down right here.
Can't let them penetrate the 28-yard line. That's where the Vipers have to get to for a first to keep the drive moving. Here comes some pressure. Had to throw it before he wanted to, and it's going to be incomplete as Permian did a stunt with Ellison, and Ellison got to him and forced the early errant pass, and it falls incomplete.
Tried to throw the wide receiver screen coming back inside. We call that a tunnel screen for the wide receiver. Permian played it very well. Probably saw that in films and worked on it this week, and really just shut that play down for absolutely nothing.
And it will be the first punt of the second half by the Vipers. And Permian's fumbled the ball away, and it looks like the Vipers are going to come up with it at the 10-yard line. Well, I tell you, Kyle, little sloppiness is costing them again.
Yes, it is. They have really been careless with the ball on a couple of occasions. Here it is on special teams. The kicking game forces a turnover, and all he has to do here, this is Brother Miller, he just needs to catch the ball, secure his feet, put the ball away, and get field position. Instead, it is another turnover for the Panthers, and the defense is going to have to rise up again here at the 10-yard line. Let's see if the Panther defense can do it again. They really did the first 2 drives they were down here. They really stopped them other than the one play on the pass. Catch it? Yes, he did.
They're going to say Osley caught it, and the Vipers are within an extra point of tying this one up. Permian had a 14-0 lead, had the Vipers pinned inside their 5-yard line, let them off the hook, eventually forced a punt down to the Permian 1. A little sloppiness down there. Finally, the Vipers able to cash in to bring it within 14-7 before half, and now a fumble on the first punt of the second half by Permian. Set the Vipers up at the 10-yard line, and now with the extra point, we are all knotted up at 14. With 8:32 to play in the third quarter, 14 all.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Crave Rider! He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper!
Crave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you.
Crave Rider! He sprays Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper!
See you guys.
Woo! What you crave.
Paul Evans' huge selection of in-stock hardwood, vinyl, tile, and carpeting lets the Paul Evans customer fall in love with their actual floors instead of having to choose off of a tiny sample. Here at Paul Evans Flooring, we love big rolls of carpet, big pallets of flooring, and of course, big savings for you. From budget to unbelievable, Paul Evans has the perfect floors for your home.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's 2 guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's 2 dudes on the State Farm
Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Want to borrow better? Contact State Farm agent Mike Podzemny about a car loan that can save you hundreds.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Texas Burger and State Farm Insurance agent Mike Podzemny. Well, after the muff punt, one play, 10 yards, pass from Moore to Osley, and we're all knotted up 14.
And just the turnovers are killing them right now, Barry. It's just that simple. You cannot turn the ball over in any football game, have a bunch of turnovers, and win the game. The Permian offense has to come out and reestablish some continuity and momentum right now.
Permian has had 3 plays and a punt, a fumble the next time they had it, and then ran the ball out on downs to end the first half. So the offense just absolutely went to hibernation after they had that 14-0 lead.
See what they decide to do on first down from the 25-yard line on the touchback. Permian offensive line, John Hinojos at center, Dawson Reynolds and Pablo Oliveros are the guards. Orion Farley and Landon Peterson are the tackles. We'll get the skill people again here in just a second.
Well, if Coach Felt busted a cork at halftime, I kind of wonder what happened after that beginning of the third quarter. They're going to pitch this one back to Hammond, who's going to, not Hammond, pitch the ball back to
Keyshawn Jones.
Yep, and he's going to get a good gain on first down, brings up 2nd and 4.
Good pitch by Steve right there. He read the play perfectly on the option, waited till the last possible minute to make that pitch, and Jones got around the corner for a nice 6 or 7 yard gain. Now put another play with it. Keep the momentum going.
It'll be 2nd and 4. This is Mr. Ed territory.
There he goes, right up the middle.
Tell you, it don't take them long to get through there, does it?
No, with this offense and the way they have it set up on a replay here, watch him just hit it quick. Good blocking at the point of attack. Keeps his feet going, good balance. Gets that first down out to the 44, 33-yard line, Good execution, good first down.
And got to keep the momentum going for sure, as Permian now will face a 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Brothers out wide to the right. Hammond here in the slot on this side, on the near side. And the other receivers out wide as well. Steen's going to pitch it back to Hammond. Hammond's going to be the 45, going to get a minimal gain of about 3. Depends on where they mark him. Maybe marked at the 47.
Watch Oso at the top there, that defensive end. He came down and crashed and still has the athletic ability to turn, get up the field the other direction down the line of scrimmage, and made a nice play to hold Permian only to about a 4 or 5 yard gain there.
5 yard gain, 6'2", 215-pound, 3-year starter. At least 8 schools are interested in him, including the hometown Longhorns. Actually, this school district's in Leander,
which is north of Austin.
Right. Going to be Williams carrying the ball out to the 40-yard line, so another gain of 12 yards, and Permian is on the move, and those guys up front doing the job.
Winning the war at the line of scrimmage, Barry, real quick. Do you know how the Leander School District is tied into the Ector County Independent School
District? Used to be that Barrett Stadium was there until they imploded it and built their own.
Exactly. That is exactly correct. That's where the old Barrett Stadium went when this stadium opened in 1982.
Steen's going to keep the ball here. And, well, he had about 5 yards, or had about 3 yards, and peeled back and was taken down after a yard gain. Timmy Hanna come up there to make the tackle on him.
Watch Drew Nelson, number 1, also right there taking his legs out from his linebacker position. Again, this is a 4 down lineman and 4 linebacker front, 8 in the box. They're committed to stopping the Permian run, probably, especially after watching the films from last year's comeback 21-20 win by the Panthers.
Williams with another 100-yard effort tonight to start the season off, over 100 here early in the third quarter. Steen's going to look to throw the ball. Has a man open, almost has it picked off. Man, he just threw that one a little bit lazily and just was almost picked off by Ross and falls incomplete.
Yeah, he didn't read the outside linebacker here. He's in the flat. Didn't see him or didn't pick him up till late. They were trying to get Nakavion White on a little stop route out here. Did not execute it well at all, and now it's 3rd and 9.5 for this Panther offense with 5:23 left. Panther faithful here on the home side are a little nervous right now.
Williams, by the way, his 4th 100-yard effort of his 1 year plus 1 game career. So Permian now will run the ball with Steen, who will pitch the ball back instead. Going to have the first down and a whole lot more. Man, what a good job of running that ball by Keyshawn Jones.
Yeah, that's a great effort right there. As you can see on our replay, watch him get the pitch. Guy has a pretty good beat on him right here, but he keeps his balance by sticking his hand on the turf, continuing to keep his legs going and getting that first down. all the way down to the Viper 24-yard line. Great effort by Keyshawn Jones. I almost said Johnson.
Well, he and Hammond run that play to perfection. That's a 15-yard gain from the 39 down to the 24, where Permian, deep in Viper territory, will face a 1st and 10. Just keep that thing on the ground and move it.
Yeah, nothing there on the dive to Williams.
Yeah, guess why?
Oso, number 9, coming down from his defensive end position. Probably if they could see that again, they might pull that ball and let Steve come on out, even though he was covered by an outside linebacker there. So you take your medicine and come back on 2nd and 9 and see what you can dial up here against this very aggressive Viper defense.
Yeah, not going to get around 15 syllable very often. He made the tackle there, a gain of only a yard. Steen going to throw the ball. Nope, decides to run it because there's a lot of pressure. He's going to get down to the 20-yard line, so he made something out of nothing. Down to the 20, so it's going to be 3rd down.
That's an inside stunt by their other defensive tackle, number 40, Miles Hammond. Here it comes. Watch him come. That's actually number 9. That's Oso on a stunt from the top side. Didn't get him blocked. He just made great penetration, and give Steve Steen credit for not fumbling there or keeping possession of the ball and getting a couple of 3 or 4 yards. Here's 3rd and 6 from the Viper 20-yard line.
Yep, got to get down to the 14-yard line. The Permian offense is going to throw it. Rolling out. Here comes a lot of pressure. Ball's on the ground, picked up. It's going to be returned down to the 40-yard line by the Vipers. Steen got wrapped up, dropped the ball, and the Vipers pick it up for yet one more Permian turnover.
Well, what happened here was the penetration. Steve trying to get outside. Had some penetration on the outside. Probably should have just put that ball away and took the sack, and you see the fumble forced by number 42, Spencer Jones, their junior inside linebacker, creates the turnover, and the Vipers have the ball at their own 41-yard line.
That was a 10-play drive starting in the Permian 25 that fizzled out after about 5 minutes. A little more than 5 minutes ends with a fumble on 3rd down, and now the Vipers back in control again, starting from their 41-yard line. New left corner.
Yep. Looks like they got number 13 down here. We'll get his name to you here in just a moment.
So Osley's going to throw the ball downfield on the wide receiver pitch. He's got it, and they're going to score on the first play of the drive from 39 from a 59 yards out.
Yep, that was a double pass. You heard maybe somebody from our mic pick it up on the home sideline here. That's a great call and a great offensive design by the Vandergrift staff. Just a double pass. Got behind the secondary. They thought they were going to have to come up and make the play. And instead, as Barry said, a long pass and the first lead of the game for the Vandergrift Vipers.
Well, they trail 14-0 to Permian and now have scored 21 consecutive unanswered points. With the extra point good, the Vipers have taken the lead at 21-14. Oh, my goodness.
The Vipers 21, Panthers 14.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the oil-filled undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The oil-filled undertaker.
Texas Burger, deep in the heart of Texans for 50 years.
This Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Odessa College and the Permian Basin area-wide phone book. So Permian as we started the second half, had the lead at 14-7. Forced a punt from the Vipers. Permian fumbled the punt and allowed the Vipers to take over on their 10-yard line. One play pass from Moore to Ausley tied the ball game up at 14-all. Permian comes back, starting from their 25, moves in 10 plays down to the Viper 20, and then a fumble by Steen returned out to the Viper 41-yard line. One play, a 59-yard wide receiver pass from Ausley to Watson, and Permian, after leading early on 14-0 or trailing 21-14.
That was number 13. We said we would say it. Christian LaChance was playing corner down here, not necessarily his fault on that. Again, that's just great play design right there by the Vandergrift Vipers and their offensive coaching staff. So now Permian comes out at the 25-yard line after putting a, what was that, a 10-play drive on the last one. Now they've got to, come back and refocus, kind of wipe the slate clean, and get out there and start executing their offense against a defense now that is going to play with a lot of confidence now that they have the lead here at Ratliff Stadium.
Permian had the lead at the 11-18 mark of the second quarter on the 2-yard run by Williams. Everything was clicking. And then all of a sudden the wheels have kind of come off.
Yeah,
and Permian has allowed 21 unanswered points. Now they hand the ball off to Mr. Ed, and he gets absolutely nothing at all.
Yep, I believe that might be our friend number 9. It sure is, Mr. Oso, coming down the line of scrimmage, making the play for absolutely no gain. Be second and long, and we got to get some life into this Panther offense right now.
So Permian facing the second down after a no gain on first. Every time they drop back to pass, though, he has just absolutely been covered up. Hadn't really had a chance to throw the ball. Going to run it here for a gain of only 1. Going to bring up 3rd and 8.
Viper defense is fired up right now. They just playing with a lot of emotion and confidence themselves. That's something we talked about the Permian defense doing. And one of my keys at the beginning of the game, they are really playing exceptional football now on that far sideline and on the defensive side of the ball.
So 3rd down, facing the Permian offense. That was a 2-yard run by Steen. Going to be 3rd down now. Going to have to throw the ball in a hurry. Here comes the pressure. He's going to roll out. Going to be well short of the first. Oh, he got it. No, he cut back inside.
Yeah,
my goodness, what a run by Steve Steen.
That's a good job right there.
They were going to push him out short, and he said, nah, think I'll cut it back inside. And Permian lives to play yet again with a 1st and 10.
Another series, that's right. Steve made this play right there. That kid just lowered his head, thought he was going to be able to come up and make that play. Number 24, Zach Wong, just lowered his head. That's not how you tackle at all. And one of their coaches sure let him know about it after the play. But give Steve Steen some credit for making the play and being athletic enough to do so.
Steen with 51 yards rushing and a score after that 20-yard pickup. Man, what a run. Now Williams just barreling for about 8.
Good job up front. Good way. Good, nice job by Ed there to hit the hole and make that play happen for a good 7 or 8 yard gain. Now let's see what they decide to do. They decide to take a shot or not down the field here.
They do give him 7, so it's going to be 2nd and 3. Hammond and White wide here on this side. Brother along with Jones are wide to the right. Going to throw the ball, going to throw it short, and going to be falling incomplete.
Yeah, that wasn't a very easy pass to handle right there. I didn't see who was trying to. Was that Brother trying to get it right there?
Yeah, it was kind of a Millie Math throw, and didn't have a lot on it. Didn't have enough mustard.
Down low, down below, right about the thighs. He's trying to come back inside on a little wide receiver screen of their own. Talking about Permian, and the pass just wasn't where he was able to handle it, get it under control, and then work his way up the field. Now this is a big 3rd and 2 right here with a minute to go in the third quarter.
If they don't get it, they're going to go for it on 4.
Well, they should have it right there.
They will have the first down here as they get down to the 39-yard line, and Keyshawn Jones will move the chains after the run of 7.
Justin Hammond did a great job, number 4, of getting the block on the edge as they made the pitch and got around the corner here. Good job by Justin right there to spring the back around the corner, and another first down at the 38-yard line of Austin Vandergrift.
Now they got down to the 20 a moment ago before things just kind of fell apart, so let's see if they can keep this drive going. Going to pitch it back to Justin Hammond. Hammond is boxed in and going to get back to the original line of scrimmage and a yard more.
Good play, good pursuit by their outside linebacking core and the secondary of the Vipers to hold that to a yard gain. That might be the last play of the third quarter. We'll see. Coming up on around the 10-second mark. Let's see if they decide to take their chances in the fourth quarter, but give them credit there for making that play.
2 seconds, 1 second, and that will be the end of 3. So Permian had the early lead at 14-0 and have allowed 21 answered, but now have the ball and the momentum. So as we begin the fourth quarter of play, they will be facing a 2nd down and 9 from the Viper 38. So after 3, it is the Vipers 21 and the Panthers 14.
There's a new rising star shining over West Texas. Odessa College is one of the top 4 community colleges in the United States. 5 years after completion, OC graduates earn twice as much as all other workers in the region. First-time Odessa College students can qualify for first-class free scholarships. Imagine more. Imagine yourself at Odessa College. Call 432-335-6400.
Texas Burger, serving great hamburgers and more for 50 years.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Medical Center Hospital and Rosa's Cafe and Tortilla Factory. Okay, let's put on your offensive coordinator hat again, 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9, still run your offense. What you want to do in this situation, pick up 4, 5, 6 yards, make it 3rd and manageable, keep the drive alive, take care of the football, Barry. That's the big key. Take care of the football right now. You're in 2-down territory if you want to look at it from that perspective.
Yeah, I think you're right. Need to get down to the 28-yard line for the first down, so they're going to hand the ball off. Nope, they're going to pitch it back instead. Going to pitch it back. They played that one a whole lot better. Pitched it back to Hammond. Hammond's going to get down to the 32-yard line. He still got 6 out of it. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 3 and possibly a 4th and short if needed.
Yeah, the defender that Keyshawn Jones was blocking on that play actually did a good job of dealing with the block and still making the play, holding that to as you said, a 6 or 7 yard gain. It sure could have been a lot better.
Actually, they say it's going to be 3rd and 4. And they're going to need a couple of more. Williams gets corralled at the 30, so it's going to be a 4th down play, Kyle.
And let's see if they decide to go for that 4th down right here, or are they going to play field position? I think they're going to go for it.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
I think you get the ball out on the corner. I think you try to get it around the edge somehow.
I think the guy they snap it to is the guy that's going to be running it.
Okay, so Barry's calling Steen with the ball. I think they're going to bring Jones around and try to get him on the corner. It's open up there if they want to do it. Nope, came this way. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Boy, they sprung it right up the middle, Barry.
Well, it wasn't Steen that ran it. It was Mr. Ed Williams, and from 30 yards out, Ed is in the end zone for the second time tonight. Well, I tell you, that was great blocking up front and then tremendous speed to finish it
and
off.
Steve made the right read right there because he saw it was open. That's why he decided to give the ball to him there. And once Ed Williams saw the hole and got his speed and momentum going, it was off to the races. Good play, good execution, as you said. And the Panthers are a point away from tying this up.
Yep, so the all-important extra point by Roberts coming up.
Is good. That is good.
8 touchdowns last season, 2 tonight by Williams. And we are all knotted up at 21 all. As we head into the break, let's watch this shot from the end zone. And there goes Williams into the end zone, and Permian, after the extra point, has tied this one up. We're knotted up at 21 all with 10:39 to play in the ballgame.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper.
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. He's spraying Dr. Pepper because he's out of Dr. Pepper.
See you guys.
Woo! What you crave.
Our Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by BCM and Associates, the Oilfield Undertaker, and by Nimbus Drinking Water Systems. Permian drive of 75 yards. Fourth down play was good for 30 yards and a score by Williams. 75-yard drive, 4.5 minutes and 10 plays, and Permian has tied it up.
Little pooch kickoff here. Going to do try to cover it. Better make the play. They did right there. That's Matt Jones on the Permian kickoff coverage team making the play. If he gets past Matt Jones, he might have some yardage down the sideline here. Good play by Matt. 1st and 10 for the Vipers. Looks like it's going to be somewhere right around the 30, just shy of the 29-yard line. The Panther defense has got to step up here right now. 3 and out, get that ball back to the offensive side of the ball.
So we're the 10:35 mark in the ball game. Back in defensively is Ademny, number 29 at the right corner here at the near side for the Permian defense. Now they need to tighten things up. Smallwood will get the carry. He's going to get a lot more than I thought he was going to get. In fact, close to 5 yards after the 35.
Looked like to me Permian on the left side of the defense wasn't quite in position or ready to play. Not lined up to make the play, and that's a good gain on 1st down for the Vipers.
Yeah, they got 7 actually, so it's going to be 2nd and 3. So we're knotted up at 21 all. Permian jumped out in front. 14-0. Had to battle back to tie it a moment ago. 2 2-yard runs and a 30-yard run by Permian offense. Quarterback's going to roll to his right. Has to throw the ball. Yep. Somehow completed it for about 5 yards, so he's going to have the 1st down. I thought he was throwing it away, and it comes up in the midst of his receiver. And Osley comes up with the ball for the 1st down.
Keaton Robinson there had a chance to make the play. Looked like to me he might have taken a wrong, bad angle to get to the receiver out there. If he just keeps his feet and stays with inside leverage on the receiver to the sideline, they don't get anything there, but they do complete the pass and get another Panther or Viper 1st down.
Gonna watch out. They've overloaded the left side here with triplets. No receivers on the right. The single Smallwood at back. Gonna hand the ball off to Smallwood, who's gonna get a lot of yardage, close to 7 yards out to the 47. Getting a little more running room. They only had, 14 yards rushing at the half?
Had 14 yards rushing at the half.
What have they got this half, Larry? Any idea?
That's a good play up front and good patience by the running back to see that hole inside and cut it up in there to get that 6 or 7 yards. It's 2nd and 3. Panther defense needs to buckle down right here.
Yep, got 7 on 1st down. We're going to throw the ball here, what you bet?
Decide to go wide here. Going to run the stretch play, and Matt Jones ain't having any of that.
No, he read that one. Parker on the run to the right. Got Matt Jones in his face for his efforts, and then he's going to lose a couple.
Watch him just come from the outside. They didn't block him at all. That's not a very good blocking scheme on the outside there, in my opinion. There's also a flag, Barry. I think this might be a face mask. Let's see. Permian's moving back. This is against the Panthers. I think he might have got a little bit of that face mask. That's a big penalty. Goes from being second and long to 1st and 10 now in Panther territory at the 38-yard line. 8:30 time, clock running. Panther defense has got to buckle down.
Yep, just grabbed something he shouldn't have. Would have been a loss of yardage, and instead, well, they had him and let him get away, but here comes the rest of the guys up there to quickly make the first hit. Was what was that?
Didn't see who it was. 56 is who that was. That was our defensive depth chart there, 56. Don't have a 56, Barry.
Yep.
I have to see who that is and get a name.
So the end result was a loss of 2 back to the 40, so it's going to be 2nd and 12 from that point.
Ball's
Vipers
on the
drop
ground.
the ball.
Whoa!
Well, they drop the ball when he comes up. Ellison hits him and drops him for a loss of another 6 back to the 46.
Well, this is an outside linebacker blitz, and if he had even caught it, Barry, he was still fixing to get nailed by a great individual play by Preston Ellison right there from his outside linebacking position.
So it's going to bring up a very, very critical 3rd down play. 3rd and 17 for the Vipers.
I think they're going to call that a catch. They sure are. Boy, the fade route to the top of the screen. Single coverage, man to man. That's number 5 in coverage. Let's see if he catches it. I believe he does. Both feet in. That's against Christian Schauner right there. Good long pass play for the Vipers and another 1st down.
And it was a pass play from the 46 down to the 11 for a 35-yard gain. The Vipers, in a tie-score ball game at 21-all, are on the doorstep of Permian. And again, the stop-and-go route. He throws the go, and the receiver runs the stop.
Again, the same thing as we said earlier. No communication or miscommunication there between the two people you just talked about. Bails Permian out on 1st down because they have really kind of come with the idea, Barry, now that they can test these Permian corners on the outside.
11th play of the drive. Vipers 2nd and 10. They can get a 1st down at the Permian 1. A lot of pressure on the quarterback. Does get the ball out to Osley. Defended by Schauner. Falls incomplete, bringing up an critical 3rd down play.
Good coverage on the slant route there. Just a quick 3-step slant, quick 1-step throw for the quarterback. You can see it coming right there. There's the window. And boy, right at the last minute, Schauner gets his hand in there and knocks the ball away. And making some changes personnel-wise are the Vipers. Permian has the opportunity now defensively to adjust.
Just under 7 minutes to play in the ball game. We're tied up at 21-21. 3rd down play. Moore gets the ball down to the end zone. It's going to be outside the line and falls incomplete against Schauner with the play of the game there defensively. Tell you, he's had a heck of a game.
And they have. And again, this is just the fade. There it is, going to the back pylon of the end zone. And boy, that hit him right in the chest. He just did not make the play. I'm talking about the receiver. Schauner had great coverage. And
so Stanhouse is going to come on and attempt a 28-yard field goal to try to put the Vipers up one more time. Kick is up, away, and it is good. And the Vipers again will take the lead with 6 minutes and 47 seconds to play in the ball game. It is the Vipers 24 and the Panthers 21.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection. savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
Wood looks are the hottest flooring style going for today's beautiful homes. Paul Evans buys big pallets of gorgeous wood look vinyl plank, porcelain tile, waterproof core, and of course, real wood flooring, and we pass the savings on to you. From our best-selling budget vinyl plank to our unbelievable real wood flooring, Paul Evans has the perfect floors for your home.
The Transglobal Productions and Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you by Odessa Regional Medical Center, by the Odessa Booster Club, and by the Permian Booster Club. Would it surprise you to know that the Vipers have negative 3 yards rushing here in the second half, but have the 24-21 lead?
Doesn't surprise me at all. I think the Panther defense has really done a nice job of shutting the running game down, but they've been hurt on some long passes, especially some go and fade routes to the outside. I'm sure that will be addressed this week during practice sessions at Coach Wilkins' field. And they've had to make some adjustments. Give Vandergrift credit for being able to do that. Now let's see what the Panther offense can do here with 6:47 left in the ball game.
So Williams will get, no, it's going to be Steen pitching the ball out to Hammond. Hammond's going to have the first down and out beyond the 35-yard line to the 37. So 12 yards on first down.
And that's just the option with the slot back coming in motion and then coming back this way before the play starts. Good pitch by Steve Steen right there to get him on the edge, and another Panther first down.
So from the 36-yard line, so a gain of 11 and not the 12. It's going to be first down here. Steen will keep it. Steen's going to get a pretty decent gain on first down of 5 out to the 41.
Good job on the read there by Steen. Again, rode the ball into the fullbacks, or Ed Williams' belly. Decided to pull it and then got right back outside up into an alley. Good pickup on first down. Now you're at second and about 6.
Well, they hadn't really run the ball with Brother at all here in the second half, have they?
And as you and I were talking about in the break, they really haven't done anything with Todrick Robinson either.
Steen's going to get bottled up there, has absolutely nowhere to go. Is up there to make the hit as Ross. Going to bring up a third down in a very critical third down play. 3rd and 6 as Permian trails and needs to get some points on the board.
What they decide to do here, that was absolutely no gain for the Panther offense. In fact, lost a yard, looks like.
Yep.
Big 3rd and 6 right here. See what Jeff Ellison and the offensive coaching staff here decides to dial up. Going to get him around the corner again. Good cut, good call, good play there. Good decision by Steen again.
And the big thing is he gets the first down out to the 47-yard line.
Good job by Hammond to get around the corner on in a little outside running lane or alley and get up the field for that first down. So
Robinson looks to be okay, standing there with his arms crossed at the 37-yard
line. Yep.
So Permian, after they needed 6, got 7 on the pitch to Justin Hammond, the junior wingback slot receiver. Going to be 1st and 10. Haven't really used a Brother at all here in the second half. There goes Williams again. Had a 30-yard run for a score a moment ago. Going to carry this one out beyond the midfield stripe and all the way down to the 44-yard line. It's going to be second and short after an 8-yard gain.
Keep getting what the defense gives you, and if you're looking at it from the opposite sideline, bend but don't break right now. Just keep playing your defense. Permian's got to continue to work right here. I've got a little special formation I'll talk about here as Williams hits that hole there. They had a center, a guard, and a tight end on this side. A guard, you can see it, a guard, and a tackle up on the other side over there. So they little switch in formation there to kind of change up the strength. That's what I'm talking about from the Permian sideline. They feel like they can get that going, and they do for another first down.
Williams had 151 against Odessa High last year. He's over 155 tonight. Going to pitch the ball to Hammond. Hammond's going to have a good gain again down to the 29-yard line. And going to be second and 2.
And what's happening, Barry, with that formation, it forces Vandergrift to change how they want to line up defensively due to the strength. You know, normally when you have a tight end in the game, you want to call the strength of your defense toward that tight end. But they're not doing that, or they can't do that, because the strength is actually to the opposite side of the tight end.
So down inside the 30 now. It's going to be second and 3. After the 7-yard gain, Steen's going to keep it. Nope, they thought he's going to pitch it, so they let him go. He kept the ball. Please hold on to it. Going to be down close to the first down. His momentum carried him down to the 28, and he needs to get down to the 27, actually. He needs to get to the 26, so it's going to be a third down play.
Yeah, going to be a little short, about half a yard, third and about half a yard now. Let's see if they take a shot in the end zone right here, maybe Barry. Can I expect maybe Vandergrift thinking, nah, probably not.
I'm saying, Ed, going to be yours, buddy.
Or Steve. Or Steen.
I'm going to say Ed gets the ball here with about a half a yard to go on third down. We're down to the inside the 3-minute mark to play in the ball game. Permian trailing in this one. Ed Williams will have the first down. He's going to be down to the 25. So it's going to be first and 10 Permian. Controlling the ball, controlling the clock, and looking to take the lead.
And they've lined up. I'm talking about Vandergrift with 2 defensive linemen on their right side to the left of the Permian strength, or the Permian left side of their offensive line. They were crashing inside. They felt like Ed Williams was going to get the ball, which he did, but they still executed and got the first down.
So now from the 25-yard line, Permian, first and 10. We're down to 2 minutes and 17 seconds when the ball is snapped here. Steen's going to pitch it back. Oh, boy, they came up and made the tackle on Jones there. And Keyshawn was only able to get about 3. Boy, they made a good tackle.
They really did, and played it very well, as you said. Had a block out there on the corner, but the defender did a really good job of coming off that block and making the play, holding Permian only to about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, going to be second and 8. The 11th play of the drive that started back on the 25 after Stadhouse's 28-yard field goal at the 6:47 mark. Put the Vipers up for the second time tonight at 24-21. Permian needing to get on the board to take the lead. Has a man open. Going to be caught. Going to be down inside the end zone. And Permian will score. Just a nice little wheel route, and Permian is in the end zone with Justin Hammond.
Here's the replay. Watch it. Hammond's going to run out, up the numbers, just like you said, just a little wheel route. Steve did a good job of getting it in his hands, and Hammond did the rest, diving into the end zone and giving the Panthers a lead at 27-24 with 1:22 left in the ball game. Excellent execution by the Panther offense from quarterback to the receiver, and give that offensive line credit for giving him time as well.
Hammond scored one time last season by the pass, 4 catches, 52 yards, and a score. He has a score here tonight that puts Permian ahead with 1:22 to play in the ball game. It is Permian 28 and the Vandergrift Vipers 24.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the oil-filled undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The oil-filled undertaker.
Texas Burger, serving great hamburgers and more for 50 years.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by E&E Service and Supply and by Security Bank. Defensive player of the game, what are you thinking maybe?
I'm thinking right now go with Matt Jones. I've got unofficially 5 tackles, but he had a couple of batted balls in that first half from his defensive end position. I thought Tanner Adams has played well, but I'm going to give it to Matt Jones, defensive end for the defensive MVP.
Permian down to cover the kick, and they're going to cover it inside the 15-yard line. Is up there very quickly for Permian to make the tackle. Is Matt is number 13. And I've just lost control of myself there for a second. Christian LaChance up there to make the tackle. And Permian now with 1 minute and 18 seconds. Need to get the job done defensively and mark this one a W.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you thinking offensive MVP right now?
I'll get to that in just a second. By the way, that last drive, 75 yards, 11 plays, 5.5 minutes, just under. And Permian goes ahead on the Steen to Hammond 23-yard pass play. I'm going to go with Ed Williams, the junior running back tonight, with the offensive MVP. His career best over 150 tonight. 150 of the Permian rushing 190 yards unofficially in the ball game. Williams with a score of 30 and a score of 2. So Ed Williams is going to be my offensive most valuable player. Second down play here. Quarterback under a lot of pressure is going to have to run it. Still on his feet, going to get racked up about the 24-yard line. Going to be short of what he needs for the first. The clock continues to run, and we're down to 59 seconds.
They still have their 3 timeouts. I'm kind of surprised they're not using one here. Give Seth Higdon credit for making that tackle right there. 3rd and short for the Vipers.
Certainly 4-down territory as the Vipers. I think they finally call a timeout with 46 seconds to play in the ball game.
This is going to be one of those deals where, again, I think they had the clock running with the chains either moving or the first down box. They had some trouble with the clock there.
So they gained 14 seconds as it's now up to 1 minute to play in the ball game. 1 minute. It's going to be a 3rd down and 2 for Vandergrift from their 24-yard line. Need to get to the 26. Here comes the Permian rush. There is a flag on the play. Motion by the offense is going to cost them 5.
Okay. We have from our statistician that one of the problems was that the band was playing while they were trying to make the snap call. It was causing a distraction, which you can't do. They did have a penalty there. 5-yard illegal procedure now makes it 3rd and 6 from the 20-yard line.
Not much pressure, looking to the right. Falls incomplete, tried to get the ball to Osley, and it falls incomplete again. Shawner over there defensively. Now you said that the MVP for the defense was who?
For the defense was Matt Jones, defensive end, number 55. I think he's played very well for the Panthers tonight. We're going to have a timeout on the field by Vandergrift.
Very good game by him, by Shawner, and by Ellison. So it's all going to come down to a 4th down play. Permian 28, the Vipers 24. 47 seconds to play in the ball game, so stay with us. We'll return to Ratliff in a moment.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Crave Rider! He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper!
Crave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you.
See you guys.
Woo! One you crave.
Our Trent's Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Maddox Physical Therapy and Ortho Sports Specialist, and by Hokenthor CPAs. Thank you guys for sponsoring these ball games. Comes down to this, 4th and 6.
Don't give up anything deep here. Keep it all in front of you. Here's the ball. Oh, look at there. Wow. Oh, we have illegal procedure against the Vandergrift Vipers before the penalty. Before the ball was snapped, so that's actually going to negate the play. Move them back another 5 and going to make it 4th and 12. Don't relax defensively here, especially in the secondary. Play good technique. Come make the play if they complete it. Make them put plays together. Listen to the crowd.
Nope, not going to make it.
Nope, not going to make it.
Permian will take over, and they're going to win the ball game.
That is a great play right there by Preston. Is that Preston Ellison?
I think so.
That's 16. It sure is. Watch the replay right here. Thought he was going to have a lane to run in. The linebacker was out in the flat. Did not see it coming. Watch Preston close and make the play, along with, let's give Orion Farley some credit for hustling from his defensive end position as well to stop the drive and preserve the first Panther victory of 2017. Get in the victory formation and go to the house.
Yeah, for every coach, this is their favorite formation of the night, huh?
Sure is.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced and directed by Bob Bailey. Replay director is Debbie Bailey. Our main cameras, Lorenzo Rivas and Jason Barrage. Grant Barrage in the north end zone, Robert Carrillo in the south end zone. The Delgados, Pete and John, are our grips. Thanks to Kyle Hubbard, who does the analyst work, Larry Thornhill, who does the statistician work. Barry Sykes saying, we're glad you came with us tonight. Down to the last 5 seconds, Permian will open 2017 with a hard-fought victory here at Ratliff as they defeat the Vipers of Austin Leander Vandergrift by a final score of 28-24. Our next high school game will be next Thursday night as the Amarillo Sandies will come to town to play the Odessa High Broncos, who opened their season in Lubbock with a win last night. Tomorrow night will be Saturday night, have a Falcon game here at Ratliff. So thanks for being with us, everybody. We'll see you next week. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ratliff Stadium. The Permian Panthers tonight hosting an old rival that they've met every year in district play since their opening in 1959. The Panthers and the Midland High Bulldogs will do battle tonight. The Permian captains met on the field just a moment ago. Jace Rush, the left tackle, along with receiver Hunter Hawkins, and a sight we did not want to see, and that was slot back extraordinaire Kobe Robinson in street clothes and unavailable tonight. Panthers did win the toss, and they will receive, so stay with us, and we will have the kickoff of the Bulldogs and the Panthers coming up.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper here! You know, as long as it's been college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands. Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper, and I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop. And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition.
Good story, bro.
It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper here. High five. I invented that too.
Brother Miller's going to be back to receive the opening kickoff tonight, so as we're preparing for the kickoff, Kyle, what do you think the keys to the game tonight are? Now, my biggest key is win the game.
Win the game, absolutely, and they've got to cut penalties, Barry. They've had a very hard time the last couple games with penalties. They've also had trouble with turnovers. They've got to eliminate the turnovers, be efficient offensively. Defensively, I think they've got to get some pressure on this quarterback from Midland High, make him nervous, force some turnovers, and be sound very coverage-wise, be sound in the secondary tonight.
Over 320 yards and penalties and 30 flags the last 3 games, so that's something they definitely will have to clean up. So the opening kickoff will be brought out to the 23-yard line, and I think can really tell who returned that one. But Permian back up to the 23, and here we go.
So here we go, Barry. This is I think it's kind of a playoff game, a little playoff feel to it tonight. They've got to be successful, like you said, and win the game, and get this Midland High team on their heels early.
That was Robinson that returned the kick, is what Larry's telling me. Troderick Robinson, the sophomore. So the handoff's going to be Nope. First, we've got a flag and stoppage of play. Let's hope it's going the left way and not the right way. Well, it ain't. So, very first play of the game, and they didn't listen to you. So the motion penalty means Permian will start now with a 1st and 15.
That's Chuck Alderson, our head referee. I'll give the others here in just a moment, making the call there.
Only change on the line for the Panthers is Isaac Solomon now will start at center. The rest of the offensive line remains intact. Ed Williams, the main running back tonight, and he nope, he didn't get it. It was kept by Steen, who gets no gain. This defense is very stout, led by the sophomore Smith Essman. He's number 54, the outside linebacker. He and Joe Barron are very active at linebacker, so they're going to have to be aware of them. Dylan Springer, Willie Eccles, probably 2 of the better defensive ends in district. Stetson Abney and Keone Garcia are the tackles. This is a very stout defense that runs a 4-3-5.
4-2-5. They've got an extra receiver or defensive back in to help them in the pass game and probably try to take away the option stuff on the outside as well, Barry.
Holt Wood will not start tonight. Got injured in the game last week, so he will be replaced by Tyler Klattenhoff. The others remain the same. McAllister, Sims, and Marquez. But the big guy, the guy you've got to avoid, is the left cornerback. He has 3 interceptions this year. 2 of them he took back for scores against Lee. He also blocked a field goal attempt last week at Wolforth Friendship. So number 21 is the defender you want to make sure does not get his grubby hands on the ball. So Permian facing a 3rd and about 15. Are going to run this one. He's not going to get much of anywhere. He broke loose there. He may. He's going to get out to the 27-yard line. He needed to get out to the 33 for a first, so it will be short. And the gain's going to be about 9 yards, but they will have to kick.
And you can see on our Transglobal Productions instant replay, Steen just rolls out to the right, avoids the rush, works his way back across the field, And I tell you, that guy doesn't get him right there, Barry, he might pick up the first down.
Well, they are going to have to kick, however, and be kicking from the 17-yard line. Line of scrimmage will be the 27, so Midland High and a very potent offense will be getting their first shot at it tonight.
That matchup you were talking about with Jacoby Thornton on that play, Barry, they had him up against, at that time, Hunter Hawkins. They had him matched up one-on-one with Hunter on that play.
Well, they didn't get a chance to get the ball to Hunter, so they will kick the ball away here. And we've got a timeout on the field. Let's take it with them. No score.
For every occasion, at any age, make it Rosa's Cafe for great food and good times. From generation to generation, we've been making memories for families across the Southwest with fresh and delicious comfort food, Rosa style. After all, life is better with Rosa's Cafe.
As we get back to play, we are going to kick the ball away, and Midland High will be back on offense. Coming out on offense, they average about 170 yards a game running, but they really excel at throwing, Kyle, almost 288 a game. And so you're going to have to be very aware, and they will have a short field to work with as the ball bounces out of play at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, he kind of rushed the kick there, Barry. I don't know. They didn't really bring any pressure at all. Could have taken maybe another step and got himself a better kick, but did not. And Midland High starts right at the 50-yard line.
Yep, not the 48, but right at midfield. Now, this quarterback's pretty darn good, isn't he?
He really is very good. We'll let you say the name here in a minute, and then we're going to call him A to Z for the rest of the night.
I may just call him AZ, but he's going to get about 7 yards on this first gain. His name is spelled ANUSZKIEWICZ. His name is Jackson Anuskowitz, but we will call him A to Z or AZ, one or the other. So he gets the first carry of the game, does not throw it, instead runs it, and they're going to give him about 5 and 2nd and 5.
There's a coach on the staff over there with the same last name. I bet they're related.
Yeah,
I would think so.
And just like that, they're on the board as Robinson gets beat for a 45-yard catch and run. Pass thrown to and caught by McLean Maddox. We'll give you some background on him in just a moment. Maddox got behind the defender, and it's Katie Barr the door.
Yep, just ran a little kind of a skinny post right in the middle of the field now. Maddox's dad is Kevin Maddox, who played on the 1989 state and national champion Odessa Permian team. He was a cornerback. So dad is a physical therapist here, and is now playing for the Midland High Bulldogs. Got behind the secondary and made a terrific catch for a Midland High touchdown.
Give you some more details on him here in a minute. Played at Midland Christian the last 3 years, but at Midland High this year, and we'll tell you why and all that stuff later. So our first score of the game comes at the 9:40 mark of the first quarter, and it is Midland High on the board, and they lead the Panthers 7-0.
As a busy mom, I'm always all over Odessa. Lucky for me, so is Medical Center Health System. So when the kids needed flu shots and sports physicals, the clinic at Walmart was my first stop. Then Mr. Fix-It hit his thumb with a hammer last weekend. Fortunately, urgent care was close by. The big baby. And it's nice to know that Family Health Clinic is always there with quality care and flexible pricing. Whenever I need them, wherever I am, Medical Center Health System has my family covered. They're my one source for health.
Texas Burger Ice Cream, the cool end to a great meal.
Well, as we come back to play, Kyle just mentioned off air that is not the way that you want to start, and that's exactly right. They pass by Anuskowitz, 45 yards, capping a two-play 50-yard drive for AZ. That is his 27th of his career, which will tie him with Ryan Rowland, who was a great quarterback for the Bulldogs in 2001-2002, for the all-time career lead in touchdown passes. So congratulations to him. Permian will return this one out beyond the 35, out beyond the 25, maybe up to the 26. That is Anuskowitz's 17th touchdown pass of the season, third best all-time, and he's only played half a season this year. The all-time leader again is Rowland with 23, and he may very well challenge that one before this year's over.
That was Brother Miller on the return there from the end zone, getting a nice little gain out to the 26-yard line for a first down. The Panther offense needs to get rolling early right now in the game, Barry.
Yeah, it rolled the wrong way a moment ago, and Permian trails 7-0 after 2 plays by the opponent. Right up the middle goes Willie, and he's going to be out for a first down and just a little bit more than that out to the 39-yard line for a gain of 13.
And here it is. This is just the fullback dive in their offense. Good blocking up front by the guys on the offensive line. Williams busts through for a nice little gain and a first down at the 39-yard line.
We were talking about the parentage and lineage of Mannix. Williams comes from a pretty good stock too, doesn't he?
Well, he does. We know that he's related to the Ed Williams that played at Ector High School back in the late 70s, went on to the University of Texas, and we believe ended up playing in the NFL.
Yep, so that's his granddad. So here comes the sophomore again. He's going to be out across the 40. Out across the 50, actually, before he's going to be brought down there. The tackle made very quickly by somebody.
And that was the guard pulling from the backside. Little kick out from the guard, and Williams hit it. Kind of looked like Brandon Bailey did, wearing the same number. We've seen that. We saw that young man really do some great things the last 3 years in black and white, and Williams surely hit it there for another Panther first down.
It was Noah Marquez that made the tackle. The gain was 15 up to the 46 of Midland High. Going to keep it on the ground. Going to hand it off, and again, here comes Williams again as they are really exploiting the inside line of Midland, of Springer, Abney, Garcia, Eccles. Why don't you hit on who the Permian offensive guys are? They're certainly getting the best of things here in the early going.
The center is Isaac Solomon, number 67. The right guard is 63, Dawson Reynolds. The left guard is Orlando Bueno, number 70. The tackles are number 62 on the right side, Gabriel Leal, and number 64 at left tackle, Jace Rush. And boy, the right side really did a great job right there, Barry.
Panthers have only thrown 61 passes in 5 games, so about 16 passes per game. Going to keep it on the ground here again, and Williams finds an open spot. Finally going to be taken down there by Mannix inside the 35, and once again the chains will move. But, man, they're finding some room up front.
They are. They're winning the line of scrimmage and the point of attack on this drive, Barry. They are absolutely winning the line of scrimmage, as I said. Nice little hit there by Williams again on the fullback dive, and it's another Panther first down at the Midland High 33-yard line.
Panthers are averaging running for about 311 a game. Midland's given up 260 a game, so that may be the weak link for them. Flag on the play, so we'll check it.
This is Chuck Alderson, our referee.
Good grief.
The umpire tonight is Albert Cortez. The head linesman is Richard Gutierrez. The line judge is Jerome Chavez, and the back judge is Robbie Waters. This is a Permian Basin chapter crew.
Now let's see. The second quarter for Midland's been the bugaboo. They've given up 63 in that quarter. Permian has scored the most of any quarter in the second, so we may be setting some things up for fireworks coming up in quarter number 2 tonight. Right up the middle is Williams again. Going to be met there for the tackle very quickly by Barron, and he will be brought down at the 35-yard line for a gain of 3. Now, they haven't thrown the ball but once on that little swing-out play. That right, Larry? Yep, one attempt.
And they don't necessarily have to do that here either, Barry.
No.
If they make it a third and manageable, 5, 6, something like that, then you can still stay with your game plan. Let's see what the Panthers do, but they don't have to panic right now. Only down 7-0 with 6:20 left and the clock running.
Okay, they've got Miller in the backfield here with Williams. See if they hand it to him. They do. Here comes Brother. Brother has the first down and going to be down close to the 30. So he'll only have it by a couple of yards. Be 1st and 10 at the 31. This drive started back on the 26.
This is going to be 3rd and 8, Barry, because you got the wrong stick.
Yeah, I looked at the wrong stick.
Yeah.
No wonder Larry was looking at me with that little look in his eye.
Yeah.
So now we've got the 3rd and 8 you mentioned.
Right, and now you are looking possibly at a passing situation, not necessarily, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Steen roll out there, say that fast 3 times, and see if they get something going here. Now, I think Brother will probably come across the formation here.
Yeah, but look out for Hunter, number 13. They've got 8 yards they need here, and he's not going to get anything. Just simply moved it up the middle, and he ran into a wall, and that wall didn't let go. Again, he's going to be brought down by the linebacker, Joseph Barron, and going to have to either kick it or kick it as in field goal it, or try to go for it on fourth down.
I think you're going to see them go here, Barry, just simply because if they punt, they don't gain much in field position. And I think it's a little far for a field goal. Let's see what they dial up here.
Panthers in fourth downs are about 6 of 8, so they've done very well there. Now that should be a penalty, so they should have the ball on the goal line as the defender ran into the receiver. And so it worked out either way, didn't it?
It did, and I think everybody, well, we're going to have a penalty here or not. It's going to be, see what the call is.
Pass interference, number 8.
Didn't believe me?
Well, I think the Midland High coaches were looking at maybe an illegal procedure call. They didn't get it, and Steve did a great job. Steve Steen did a really good job of just keeping the play alive by avoiding that first tackle, and he knew he had a shot down the field there anyway, took the shot and got the call in the end zone, and they're in business at the 16-yard line.
8th play of the drive, trying to answer that 45-yard Mannix from AZ pass that got the Bulldogs on the board early. Permian trails 7-0, now facing a first down and 10 from the 16. Going to hand it off again to Williams, looking for some running room. It's there. Mannix will make the tackle along with one of the linebackers. Now let me see who came up off the bottom of the pile. It's going to be Eccles, the defensive end, but did get another 3-4 yards.
And get blocking up front to get that couple of yards. Permian right now is bringing one of the wings in motion, but they're actually going the opposite direction or back the other way to try to confuse the Midland High defense right now. So there are going to have to be some adjustments down there, but this is a good drive for the Panther offense. See if we can finish it off with a touchdown or at least a field goal here.
Wood, Miller, and Hawkins are on the right side, so will they throw it or run it? Going to run it here somewhere. I lost the ball. I guess he handed it off inside, did he?
Yes, he did, right in the middle.
Yep, so he's going to get to the 10-yard line, so it's going to bring up third and 4. Have to get to the 6.
And you have some options here, even in the red zone inside the 20. You can certainly think 2 downs here. I think you can think pass. See if Permian attacks on the edge here, Barry. See if they get the pitch out on the edge. Maybe even to the top side to Brother Miller here. Let's see if he comes in
Miller's here in the slot on the left-hand side along with another receiver. They're going to try to just hand the ball off inside. No, Steen's going to keep it. It'll have the first down. Steen's going to score. He's going to go in from 10 yards out. A little bit of nifty footwork, and Permian is on the board.
Well, this is the option play. We're going to see it on the replay. He read the end, kept the ball, scooted outside, made a couple of moves with his feet and kept them going, and found pay dirt, or in this case, pay turf, if you will, into the end zone, and the Panthers have their first touchdown of the night.
Now, did I see Shawner in the slot? Was that number 5 in the slot?
I believe it was, yes.
So they have Christian Shawner, who usually plays defense, lined up there with Wood, and Miller on the left-hand side distracted the defense enough. And now Jacob James will tie the score up with 3:25 to play in the first quarter. Both teams are on the board, and it's 7-7. Our Trans Global Productions and Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by State Farm Insurance Agent Mike Podzimny and Paving Pro. Our games are produced and directed by Bob Bailey and the Trans Global crew. We're all here together tonight, full crew. We're at full staff. Now, Permian's not quite at full staff, and so you're thinking a lot of guys are going to be going both ways.
We could see that, Barry. You sure could, especially with Robinson out. They're going to probably shuttle some other people that they feel can help in the skill positions. Wouldn't be surprised to see that at all.
For Steen, his rushing touchdown was his 8th of the year. Had 3 in the game against Franklin. Scored a couple more times every week. That kickoff's going to come down near the 40, and here comes a late flag at the last second. 10-yard run by Steen, capping a very good drive. Whereas Larry said, boy, that's an excellent drive. 10 plays, 74 yards, over 6 minutes taken off of the clock. And the extra point by James ties the game up with 3:25 to play in the first.
And I think this is going to be, hold on, we're going to get the call here from Chuck Alderson, our referee.
Kick catch interference against the kicking team. A 15-yard penalty. First down.
And that's a big penalty, Barry, because it's going to move the ball again on the Permian side of the 50-yard line, a short field for the Bulldogs to work with again, and you can see already right now they're fixing to either attack the field vertically with no running backs other than the quarterback, or a quarterback draw here, and there it is.
The Permian's had over right at 100 or more yards in penalty yardage each of the last 3 games. Manuskowitz will carry the first play here from the 48 for about 3 to the 45.
Permian defense really needs to step up right here, Barry, and hold them, at least make them punt the football here.
Manuskowitz is going to find his receiver. Boy, he's going, isn't he? Get him on the ground. They're not going to do it. He's going to score again. So 2 plays in a row, both of them 2-play drives, again from 45 yards out, and this time it's going to be Jalen Childress. It finds his way to the end zone. Watch him just thread the defense.
And this is the wide receiver screen from the top of the field. The inside guys do the blocking. Great execution by the Bulldogs. And as you said, came all the way across to the middle of the field and then worked back to the far sideline for another Bulldog touchdown.
That one to Childress, and Permian is now trailing one more time. They do a lot of work keeping the ball 6 minutes. Work their way down the field. Correa will put the extra point on the board. And now the new score at 2:54 to play in the first is the Bulldogs on top of Permian 14-7. And on that pass play, Anuskowitz becomes the all-time career leader in TD passes. His 28th of his career is now the best ever in Bulldog history. Back in just a moment.
Your new Texas Burger is now open at 191 in Fodry in Odessa.
Now the first drive by the Bulldogs was 37 seconds. This one was only 31. 48-yarder, 2 plays, the last 45 of it from Anuskowitz to Childress. And boy, they got on the board in a hurry.
They really did, and as Larry said, they've only run 4 plays. The total amount, I think, is how long? About 50 seconds, maybe, around that area. And they've put 2 touchdowns. Permian's going to have to make some secondary adjustments in a hurry.
Grand total of 68 seconds. That one into the end zone, and it's going to come out to the 25.
There you go. So, again, the Panther offense has to match now. They've got to execute just like they did on the last series. Again, I think you touched on it when they scored the last time. I'm talking about Permian. Put a drive together and eat some clock. Keep that offense over there on that sideline for a while.
That's Midland's 15th passing TD of 20 yards or more this season. Last week they hit a 95-yarder to Bowers against Wolford Friendship, got them backed up on their 5-yard line, and Anuskowitz and Bowers 95 yards later, they were in the end zone. So These guys can do it. They've had pass plays of 95, 75, 74, 72, and then quite a few more between 20 and 50 yards this season. They are a big play offense, and Permian's going to have to find a way to stop them. Well, here on the first run of the drive, Barron's going to make the tackle along with a bunch of his mates, and it's going to be pretty much no gain.
Yeah, and I think Permian still's going to have to try, Barry, and get on the edge. They're going to try to take Williams away. You can bet that's probably one of the adjustments they talked about after that last touchdown drive by Permian. They're going to have to put the ball in Steve Steen's hands and let him either run or get it out on the corner or play action off of that and maybe hit them with the pass.
Well, of course, you're not going to be able to play catch-up with them all night. You're going to have to get ahead of those Bulldogs, and certainly you can't afford to drop down to, more than a touchdown behind at a time. They try to get the ball out. Not sure if Brother caught it or not. Did they give him the catch?
They did not. He was out of bounds according to the referee on the sideline here. Here's the replay, and this is what I was talking about. Play action, set his feet, allow him to get the ball up the field.
Nope, out.
And he was out of bounds. Good call by the referee on the sideline here, the side judge. And it's going to be 3rd and 10. Long situation for the Panther offense.
Now, this Panther Bulldog series started back when the doors opened at Permian in '59. Permian's won 45 of the games. Midland High's won 12 of them, but things have turned around for them here in the last few years. In fact, began in '59. Permian won 37 of 40 of the games on the field between '59 and '98, but between 1999 and now, Midland's won 8 of the 32. Well, Lanuskowitz has already run 9 times for 50 yards, throwing the ball very effectively because he's got 90 yards in pass plays just on 2 passes, both of those for scores. Now, Permian facing a 3rd and 10 is going to have to find a way to keep the ball, don't you think, Kyle? He can't afford to get down to these guys any more than you already are.
Totally agree. Here comes Brother on the outside, and that young man made a great play to take Brother Miller's legs out and keep him from getting around the corner, and now they are going to be forced to punt.
So James is going to have to punt. The last time he kicked it, what happened? They
went out of bounds right inside the 50-yard line down here. They started with a short field.
Yeah, went out right at midfield. He had a 23-yard punt, and you said that he kind of rushed things. Let's hope that he doesn't rush it here because Permian now trailing by 7. At 1:32 mark of the first quarter, it's 14-7 Midland. James is going to have to do a boomer, and Permian's going to have to play some good defense. Going to kick the ball again down the field and out of bounds. Well, if he can keep it inside the field to play, maybe can use the bounce to their advantage, but again, it's going to be near midfield.
And it looks like the game plan kicking-wise is to keep the ball away from the returners and see if they can get some field position with that. That's what they did there. Got it out of bounds at the Midland High 45-yard line. That's where they're going to start.
So they will start there at the 45-yard line with a 1st and 10. Jackson Lanuskowitz, the quarterback, got a bevy of receivers. 3 of them have been playing since their sophomore year. He's going to throw it here. Looking over the middle, it's picked off. Permian's going to be down to the 30. Permian's going to be to the 20. Finally taken down there at the 12-yard line. Herb Anderson's first pick of the season comes at a most opportune time.
And he didn't see him, Barry. Had pressure coming from the outside. Did not have time to look and see Herb Anderson that had gotten into coverage right there. Picked the ball off and got all the way down to about the 13-yard line. We'll see if there's a penalty on the field here.
Permian's 7th interception of the season. Now they said what?
Sideline interference on the Midland High sideline up at the top of the screen. So that's going to be a half the distance to the goal penalty, and will set up Permian 1st and goal from the Midland High just outside their 6-yard line.
Lanuskowitz had a couple of picks last week. He's had a bit of problem with that. He's thrown now 6 interceptions this year and about 145 passes, which isn't really all that difficult, isn't all that bad. But boy, did Permian and Herb Anderson pick a good time to grab one there.
Big turnover for Permian, Barry.
Going to hand it off up the middle. There goes the little sophomore. He's going to get a couple of yards. In fact, 3 of them. Down to the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal now from the 4.
I think the home side wanted a little face mask call right there, Barry. Didn't get a chance to see it quite clearly, but he did get a couple. Here's our replay. Thank you, Debbie. Right up the middle. Going to be right there. No. It might be a horse collar possibly, but did have his hand around the backside. I think he had the jersey, so I don't think that's a horse collar after all.
Steen, you think it's going to keep it here?
I think he might keep it here. See if brother comes in motion from the short side here. Nope.
Williams will score. So instead of keeping the ball, he hands the ball off to the little guy from little sophomore Williams, and Ed is into the end zone, and Permian back on the board from 4 yards away.
That is the stretch play. Look at the lineman running to the right, stretching to the next gap, and allowing the back to make either the sprint outside as Williams did, or if there had been a defender out there forcing, he would have planted on his outside right foot and come back inside and probably scored as well. Great read, great blocking up front, great run by Williams.
4 yards out. James now on the field for the extra point to tie the ball game up, which he does. So the 4th 4-yard score for Williams, also his 4th of the season, will put Permian on the board after the Herb Williams interception sets him up in prime position. Well, the Herb Anderson interception sets Permian up for a 2-play, 7-yard drive. The 2 Midland drives were 37 and 31 seconds. This one for Permian, only 43 seconds, and we are tied up at 14 in the last 25 seconds of the first quarter.
Well, that was a big turnover, as we said, Barry, and it sure got Permian back with some momentum now. I'd like to see a deep kickoff here and a good coverage by the Panther special teams, the Panther kickoff team. Doesn't look like they're going to set it up that way, but don't give them any good field position.
Yeah, they do not have a...
Oh, they got it. They got the ball. It ended up out of the guy's hands, and Permian's got the ball right there.
And let me see who came up with it.
16.
That's Sean, not Shawner, but that's the safety.
Preston Ellison. Barry.
Ellison came up with a fumble recovery on the kickoff, and Permian will be back on offense with another attempt.
And you can see on our Trans Global Productions instant replay, they just did not field the ball. The first time Permian kicked it that way, somebody gave the fair catch sign and caught it. Did not happen there, and Ellison was Johnny on the spot for the Panthers.
Of course, they saw something similar to that happen to them a couple of times up in Wolford Friendship, where they didn't cover kicks, and Friendship came up with the ball deep in Permian territory. Well, they've taken a page from their book, and now on first down, Williams back behind the Big Mammoth line will get some yardage down to the 34.
Yeah, excellent play on first down, excellent gain of about 5 to set this drive up. Looks like they're going to let the clock run out, Barry, and come to the end of the first quarter.
So Preston Ellison's fumble recovery at the kickoff will set Permian up now after the first down run with a 2nd and 6 from the Bulldog 34. We played one. We're tied at 14. Back with the second quarter in a moment.
Lifestyle. Your mobility can greatly affect your way of life. At Odessa Regional Medical Center, our orthopedic team is dedicated to get you back to the things you enjoy most. For Robert, 2 successful shoulder surgeries allowed him to rope again. And now, he is back in the saddle. At ORMC, we want to help you return to the things that matter. We love what we do, and we think it shows.
I am ORMC proud.
The Odessa High Booster Club and the Permian Booster Club, sponsors of our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week. Bob Bailey, Trans Global Production crew here in force tonight. Glad to have you with us on this replay on Sunday night. Hopefully you had a chance to actually be here at the game, as it's actually a pretty good night for football.
Very fallish-like great football weather. Absolutely right, Barry. It was a cool day here. Kind of warmed up with the clouds, and man, it's perfect right now at Rattler Stadium tonight for this ball game.
Does anybody have single coverage? Going to be 2nd and 6?
No single coverage right now. And there's going to be another penalty. It's going to
My goodness, guys.
And this is one of the keys. This is one of the things that has really hurt this Permian team, especially a couple weeks ago at Wolfforth Friendship. The penalties at costly times are just really killer. That first down play that you got 5, you just gave it back to them because of the mental mistake.
Already 30 yards in penalties. We're just a play into the second quarter. In fact, didn't even run a play yet here in the second quarter. And the 5 yards that Williams scored, like you said, actually just gave it right back to him. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 now for Permian. I thought for a minute Hammond was going to run it, but he's not. Hammond's number 20. He's playing in place of Kobe. And now Steen will keep the ball for about 7.
That's a little speed option look out of their offense, Barry. The quarterback just took a step back. Everybody rolled to the left. He was going to pitch it if he was fixing to get hit. He did not see the pressure, got up the field, and still got another about 7-yard gain on that play.
Justin Hammond, I mentioned a second ago, he is the starting wingback slot receiver with Kobe Robinson's injury, making him unavailable tonight and for the rest of the year probably. So Permian now facing a 3rd down, and they're going to need a full 4. You think this is 4-down territory,
Well,
don't
it doesn't matter because he's going to pick it up on the dive there, Barry. Great execution by that right side of the Panther offensive line.
So down to the 27 he goes. Garcia, along others, making the tackle, but Permian will again move the chains.
Hey, this Midland High coaching staff, Barry, they've got some Permian ties in itself. Mike Sadler was a coach at Hood Junior High in the 80s and 90s in the Permian system. Matt Medley was in the system at Nimitz. And T.J. Turner was at Nimitz, played at Hood, and also coached when it was at Hood at one time. So they've got a little Permian tie to themselves over there on the staff.
This defense has given up the ball, given up some good rushing yardage. Permian's going to throw the ball here and way overshoots Shawner. Is that a 5 or a 6? That's 6. That's Hunter Wynn. And that may be who I saw down here on the other end when I thought it was 5.
Yeah,
but Hunter Wynn, it falls incomplete.
That 6 and 5 kind of gets hard to see if you don't got if you don't have the glasses on it, I should say. But I think Steve made the right play there. He saw nothing open, just overthrew him, didn't force the ball into coverage, lived to play another play. Good decision by Steve Steen right there.
Every team but Montwood from El Paso has run for at least 240 yards on this defense, so Permian may be able to exploit that tonight. Williams, though, will just get eaten up by the linebacker, and he falls down to the bottom. And that's not the linebacker, that's Eccles, the defensive end, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down now at a full 10.
And they brought a defensive slant to the near sideline against, at that time, the stretch play going to that defense. Couldn't get to the gap. Good penetration, and now it is 3rd and long. Great play and great call by the Midland High defensive staff there.
Got to get down to the 16-yard line for a 1st down. Williams will be the sole running back. They've got Brother Miller along with Hammond and Wynn all to the left side. The right side is only going to be Hawkins, and Hawkins will be met by a bunch of people, and he's going to lose yardage back to the 32.
Well, they didn't get they tried to set the wide receiver screen because they saw blitz coming, Barry, and tried to get a lineman out there to pick up the corner, and he did not get the block, and that's why that play went for absolutely nothing.
Now they're going to need about 16 here on 4th down.
Right, and need to take advantage of the turnover here somehow, Barry.
Well, they already did.
Well, yeah. But
they took advantage of the other one. This is the turnover that followed the kickoff.
Right.
At Shawner that Preston Ellison was able to grab a hold of. Now down the middle of the field, he's got a guy open, and he just overshot Brother Miller. Miller was running lone by himself, about 5 yards behind the defender, maybe 3 yards behind him. Sometimes the easiest pass is the hardest to
And
hit.
Steve wants that ball back because now he knows if he just puts a little air under it and lets Brother run under it, it's another 6 points. You can sure bet he wants to have that ball back.
So after the fumble recovery on the kickoff by Ellison, Permian unable to cash in. And now the ball will go over to the Midland High Bulldogs starting from the 30. They're going to run it for the first time tonight with Hubert. Hubert's had a good year up till now. Going to be 2nd and 10 after the no gain.
Tyson Banks, the linebacker from Permian, made the play, and a former student of mine at John B. Hood Junior High had a chance to visit with him last night out here at the JV game. Had a great time talking and had some good reminiscence there.
Hubert had 655 yards coming into the game. Had scored 8 times and has 300-yard games to his effort.
Herb Anderson on the play there.
Not going to let him have anything.
Another inside run, stunner, blitz by the Panthers. Really shut that down for 2 plays. Now it's 3rd and long. You need to be careful of draw here. Get some pressure and make him uncomfortable. See if you get another turnover.
And watch out for McMurray in 81. He hadn't thrown the ball to him yet. This is going to be Mannix again. Mannix is going to squeeze out of the tackle and not going to be near enough for the first down. Now, let me tell you the other stuff about Mannix while I'm thinking about it. He transferred to Midland after playing as a freshman, sophomore, and junior at Midland Christian. He's already committed to Vanderbilt. While at Midland Christian, he ran for just under 1,000 yards combined those 3 years, received 116 passes, 1,857 yards, had a combined 17 TDs, along with a kickoff return, a punt return, and interception return. So he had 20 touchdowns combined the last 3 years, and now is playing at Midland High. How would you like to be the coach at Midland Christian, Mr. McClendon, and walks into your office and said, Coach, I'm going to Midland High my senior season?
Well, I'm sure that's not what that coach wanted, but that's what happened, and he's here at Midland High now. We've already seen him make an impact on this game already, but let's give kudos to that Panther defense for stopping them there, getting the ball back into this offense, or into its offense's hands, and let's see what they do with this drive. They didn't even kick it to Brother Miller. He was back to receive the punt, kicked it out of bounds, and Permian sets up shop at its own 32-yard line.
So Permian now with a tie game. We're at the 7-minute and 36-second mark of the second quarter. We're where we started, and that was a tie score. As Permian now will be back on offense, going to pitch the ball out. Here comes Brother coming across the 20, 35-yard line. Brother still on his feet, going to be close to the 40 and about a couple of yards short of what he needs for a first.
Yeah, it's just a quick toss pitch to the slot back coming in motion, almost the old student body left and right. We used to see Permian running the old heydays of the wing T offense. Brother got around the corner and made about 6 yards, Barry.
Well, he's carried the ball at least 3 times a game. Every game this year had 19 for 250 yards and 3 TDs. And with the absence of that speed burner Robinson, they're going to probably lean on Brother Miller quite a bit on the running game.
Let's see what they dial up here. Now, you were asking me about single coverage earlier. They didn't get it there, and Brother's off to the races down around the corner. And we're going to have a late flag coming from the end. Here's our replay. See, they're bringing motion and then trying to mix them up by going one way or the other.
Good job. Just got a block in there by Cody Wood.
Unsportsmanlike contact. Unnecessary roughness. 42 defense.
That's a big penalty right there. Unsportsmanlike conduct, as you heard from our referee, Chuck Alderson, at the end of the play. That's a silly foul on their part. It's going to give Permian an additional 15 yards at the end of the run, and they're going to set up shop right at the Midland High 34-yard line and keep this drive going. That was a great play and a great run there, and a silly foul by Midland High at the end of the play.
Springer, one of the better defensive players in district. In fact, Coach Yenser thinks he's a candidate for the most valuable player defensive this year, but just didn't do the right thing there. So Hammond will carry the ball here. His first carry of the night. He had a big run for a TD in that first half against Friendship a couple of weeks ago, and going to be close to what they need for the first.
And Steve read that exactly correct. The defensive end crashed in. The outside linebacker came to him, and he pitched the ball and got it out on the corner for a nice gain in a first down.
We've got a tie score at 14-all with 6:47 to play in the first half. That run by Justin Hammond sets Permian up with a 1st and 10 now from the 22-yard line, and the running game is certainly clicking.
It is, and they are now starting to get the ball out on the edge, Barry, which I thought would be an adjustment for the Permian offense. I'm sure the coaching staff, especially the guys up here in the box, have seen that. Midland High's only playing one high safety, Barry, so you are seeing some of this man coverage now that you were looking for earlier. Let's see if Permian takes advantage of it.
So Mannix is lined up on Miller. Miller came inside to block for Steen, and Steen's going to be running all the way down to the 16-yard line. So that's a good gain of 6. But that was an interesting play. They brought Miller across the line and then put him into the line to block to give the clearance space for his quarterback.
A little different look, Barry, with a little different scheme. Give Steve Steen credit for keeping his feet light and lively and keeping himself moving on up the field into an open area to gain about 6, even close to 7 yards here.
Yeah, they said they hit 6 officially, so it's going to be 2nd and 4. They're going to need to get to the 12-yard line for a first down. Going to hand the ball off to Williams again, up the middle. And he's going to be close to what he needs, maybe a yard or 2 short. Going to mark him at the, looks like the, maybe 13.
And I thought they were going to give the ball on the reverse there, Barry, for the guy coming in motion, because if they had, he had a wide open edge out over on the far side.
So now they've got Wynn out to the left along with Miller. They'll have Hammond and Hawkins here on the right, but they're going to run the ball on 3rd and 2. Look for either Steen or Williams to get the call. Hammond's going to be in motion. They're going to hand it off to Williams. He will have the first down. He's going to be down to the 11. So again, the chains are going to move. Those guys up front are providing some blocking, aren't they?
They are getting the job done up front for Permian, no doubt about it. Rush, Bueno, Solomon, Reynolds, and Leal. As you can see on our instant replay, they just a little crease is all Williams needed there to get that first down and keep this drive going. And the clock running now inside just 5 minutes here.
Now Campbell Terry just came in. They may throw the ball to him, but I'm thinking they're going to keep it on the ground here on out.
Yeah, just ground and pound right now.
Campbell Terry's 86 on the left-hand side. We're going to hand the ball to Williams. Williams dancing down to the 5. Williams down to the 4. And again, it's going to be up to Mannix. And again, the cornerback Marquez to take him down there. So they're getting into the second layer before he's finally brought to the ground.
Yeah, that's the second level where the linebackers are, Barry. You're exactly right. And that was a little special formation that Permian likes to run. They put a guard and a tight end on one side of the center. They put the other guys, the other guard, and the other tackles on the other side, and they just create an unbalanced line and pound you right to that side. That's what they did there.
Okay, they have to get down to the close to the 1 yard line for a first, but we're not going to worry about the first. We're going to get him into the end zone, and Williams, for the second time tonight, Ed Williams will be on the board for Permian. Thank you much to Solomon, Reynolds, Bueno, and Rush and Leal as they pave the way. And the little sophomore pounds his way into the end zone.
Hey, folks, once you get in there and make the tackle, because he just came into your living room off their right side, we don't want to do that because we want the Panthers into the end zone, and that's exactly what they did there. Mr. Williams is having himself a first half, and as you said, back into the end zone are the Panthers for another 6 points.
18 rushes for 82 yards and 2 scores for Ed Williams, and Permian with the Jacob James extra point now has taken their first lead of the game, and they are on top of the Midland Bulldogs with 4 minutes and 2 seconds to play in the half by a score of 21-14.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper. Yeah. You know, as long as it's been college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands. Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper, and I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop. And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition.
Cool story, bro.
It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper, here. High five. And man, that too.
Paul Evans Carpets and Diamond Pump and Transport, a couple of our sponsors tonight for the Dr. Pepper Transglobal Productions Game of the Week. That drive by Permian after the defense forced a punt. It took them 8 plays to go to 68 yards in 3.5 minutes, just a bit more than that, and Williams with a 4-yard run. Now Permian is keeping the ball away from the offense by keeping it on the ground. Now what's the big critical part about this particular series?
Well, as we talk about sometimes, Barry, as they return the ball, good coverage there by the Panther special teams, the kickoff team. Don't want a 14-point turnaround. We talk about it all the time. Midland High has the ball with 3:58 left and two timeouts, and they get the ball to start the second half. So the Permian defense right now needs to really buckle down and keep them out here, maybe even get the ball back and get another score yourself and put them behind the 8 ball, forcing them to have to score to start the second half.
McMarion returned the ball out to the 40-yard line, going to pitch it here. Going to get maybe a couple of yards, if that. Permian's going to completely close down on the running back Hubert. At that point, there is a flag to go with the play.
70 offense.
But Permian
10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Banks and Williams combined to make the tackle, but the penalty is going to move them backwards. They're going to do it again.
Well, and you heard the penalty there. I think that was a holding call on one of the Midland High offensive linemen. So back them up 10. Now it'll be 1st and 20. Can't relax here. Get a good rush. Don't over-rush. Don't give him a lane, but get in coverage and see if you can force a turnover or a sack here. This is a passing situation.
And watch out for Bowers, number 13. That's his go-to guy on this part of the field. Instead, they're going to do the end around. Going to get maybe a yard at the very, very most before Childress is run out of bounds there. Childress hadn't carried the ball at all. First time he's even carried the ball this year. And he's going to get a yard and bring up second down and, 19?
Preston Ellison from the safety position, running him out of bounds, as Barry said. Good pursuit angle by Preston to make that play happen.
Yeah, going to throw it here. Nuskowitz is really good about letting the ball go early. Has a man open, going to be enough to pick up some yardage, and about 8 yards needed for a first after the catch. That was caught by Jalen Childress. And it's going to be a 3rd and 8.
Todd Robinson on the corner, from his corner position, I should say, making the tackle in front of him to make this a 3rd and 5. I think this is a big play here, Barry, on this series for both squads. It could be really a big play either way. Keep a drive alive or get the ball back, see if you can score before the half.
So keep him off the 50. A little bit of pressure, not much. Permian's in good field position there, but he caught the ball. Now Permian had good field position, but McMarion peeled back and made the catch against Ademi, and it's going to be a first down and a whole lot gained down to the Permian 25.
Yeah, they threw that ball up right there, and give that young man credit for coming and getting himself into body position to make that play.
Gain of 30. Going to be back to the running game. There goes Hubert. Hubert's going to be down to the 3 after a gain of 22.
Yeah, they just gashed him on the left side here, Barry. Got great blocking and found an open spot, and here they are on the 3-yard line. Here's the replay. Watch the guys up front. They just big on big right there. Kicked the end out, blocked the linebacker inside, and got in for a touchdown.
Ricky Hubert's going to get the carry here, and he's going to bull himself close to the goal line. They're going to mark him at the 1. Hubert, their leading ball carrier. I mentioned that a moment ago.
We've got a penalty flag late here, Barry. Maybe some words being said right now between the kids. You got to be able to keep your head right here right now.
Unsportsmanlike, number 36, defense. Be half the distance to the goal. Automatic, first down.
Well, that's an unsportsmanlike conduct there on Banks, number 36. Going to give them 1st and goal inside the 1.
Now they're just going to have a Nuskowitz power the thing into the end zone and take everybody with him. And Midland's going to be back on the board and looking to tie this one up. So Permian will have about 2.5 minutes before halftime to try to break the deadlock before they have to kick off to start the second half.
Yep, they just executed down the stretch there with that long pass down the sideline here. And the big run after that and the penalty sets that up for Midland High to get back into the end zone.
Well, that's the first rushing TD for Anushkowitz since the second week of the year. He scored on a running score of 43 and 21 the first 2 weeks of the season, but nothing since until that run from a yard out. Well, the call was an illegal formation on the extra point attempt, which is not assessed on the kickoff, but means a retry. So Correa will have to give it a go one more time.
If he kicks it anything like he did on the last one, it won't hit the scoreboard, but the last one almost did down there on the north end.
Well, he's missed 3 of 31. That's 90%. So you can just about guarantee he's going to kick this one through. Charlie said in the pregame warm-up he was watching very closely and said he had a great leg, but he wasn't very accurate. Well, he's accurate there with the extra point. So again, with 2:31 to play before half, we're knotted up at 21.
During the National Flooring Sales Event at Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring, you can get beautiful new floors for your home today and have 36 interest-free months to pay. 36 months with no interest on beautiful new carpeting, hardwood, tile, and luxury vinyl is the best and biggest deal Paul Evans has ever offered. Hurry to Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring today, because when October ends, so does this incredible deal. Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring, under the huge Texas flag in downtown Odessa.
To our sponsors tonight on the Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, E&E Service and Supply and Cable One. Well, that was the longest drive of the night for Midland High, minute 27 seconds to go 60 yards in 7 plays. The run by Anuskowitz from a yard out, and we're knotted up at 21. Now, you talked a moment ago about the critical nature of the drive before half by Permian, because Midland will get the ball to start the second half.
You actually here now get a chance to put more points on the board and get this 2:31 off, get some points yourself and some momentum to go in at half, and some adjustments are going to have to be made by both teams on the defensive side of the ball right now.
Midland High has scored on the 3 of the 5 possessions they had here in the first half. One ended in an interception, the other a punt. So Permian's going to get good field position out beyond the 30, where Shauna returned the ball, and Permian will start there.
Yep, plenty of time, 2 timeouts. Don't have to panic. You've got plenty of time. Execute what you want to inside your 2-minute offense, or what you want to do from that 2-minute or so offense, and get those points like I just said, like we just said. So let's see what they do here.
You open it up?
No, you don't have to open it up right now. I don't think so.
Hammond's going to be in tight. They're going to pitch the ball to brother Miller. Here goes Miller hurdling. And he's going to just keep on running. They're trying to tackle the ball. He ain't going to give it up.
No,
might as well try to stop it. But it's going to be a first down to the 46.
And give brother credit for doing that, doing exactly that, Barry. He felt the pressure coming with the tackle. Watch him cover the ball here on our replay. He knows those guys are going to try to strip him. So he's got both hands on the football, keeping it high and tight up against his chest and securing that football, and another Panther first down.
Well, he had 8 carries for 81 yards the very first week in Austin against Vanderbilt. Hadn't carried more than that the rest of the season. This is his 5th of the night, which is the second most work he's gotten running the ball this year, behind that 8 attempt effort in week 1. So Williams will carry the ball here, and very quickly up to make the tackle is their super sophomore Essman, and going to bring about a second down play.
And again, you don't have to panic there, Barry. A couple of yards, keep them honest inside, and then you can start working on the edge with your offense. Now, they do have single coverage down here. That's Hawkins on their all-everything Jacoby Thornton corner, so let's see if they attack somewhere else, or just let Steve run with the ball.
He's going to have the first down, and Steve's off to the races. Boogity, 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 all the way down to the 32-yard line for a 20-yard gain.
And that's the threat that Steve Steen gives you with his feet. And we're going to throw the ball there, as you saw, folks, but the rush on the outside created a running lane for him to go through, and he didn't have to force the ball there. His legs were as good as a pass to somebody for another Panther first down.
In fact, they gave him 22 yards down to the 31. We're down to a minute 16. Permian has, 3 timeouts?
2 timeouts left, Barry.
They have 2 timeouts left. Going to run the ball here. Just handed the ball off to Williams. Going to be down to the 28 for a gain of about 3. So if he looks and sees, for instance, that brother is simply covered by a safety or just a single guy, do you shift your focus that way and try to beat the one-on-one?
That's the one-on-one matchup you want, Barry, absolutely. But you have to watch if he does have single coverage and a safety over the top, you can't force that throw.
Looking right. Has a man open down the sideline. It's Hawkins. Does Hawkins have it? Nope, just a bit out of Hunter's reach. And it's going to bring about a 3rd and 7.
That was the matchup we were talking about. Jacoby Thornton one-on-one with one of the Panther receivers. He's been matched up with Hunter Hawkins all night.
Now, was he matched up against their stud Thornton?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so that was one-on-one coverage down here. Steve just overthrew it a little bit. Didn't have to force it in there. And if his guy could get to it, great. If not, you're probably in 2-down territory here, Barry.
Yeah, 4-down territory for sure. Down to the 21 is where they have to go, and they're not going to go anywhere on 3rd down. Is up there to make the tackle is going to be Garcia, the defensive tackle. Permian's going to face a 4th down.
And this is just somebody did not pick up number 99 for the Midland Bulldogs. That's Stetson Abney, the senior.
Just beheaded him.
He just came untouched, and as Barry said, almost beheaded Ed Williams there. Now, I think Permian's going to let this go down and then take a shot here, maybe with a field goal or maybe a Hail Mary. They're going to let it go down to 3 or 4 seconds here and then call a timeout.
Well, if you kick it, it's going to be a 47-yard attempt. Let's see what they do. Be back in just a moment. We're tied at 21 all. We have 4 seconds to play before half. The final play of the half upcoming.
As a busy mom, I'm always all over Odessa. Lucky for me, so is Medical Center Health System. So when the kids needed flu shots and sports physicals, the clinic at Walmart was my first stop. Then Mr. Fix-It hit his thumb with a hammer last weekend. Fortunately, urgent care was close by. The big baby. And it's nice to know that Family Health Clinic is always there with quality care and flexible pricing. Whenever I need them, wherever I am, Medical Center Health System has my family covered. They're my one source for health.
Ready for the best deal ever from Cable One? For a limited time, $25 gets you 100 megs. Really, $25? That's half price on high-speed internet. We've never offered you so much for so little. So call Cable One at 855-740-8971. 100 megs means reliable Wi-Fi and the best streaming on all your devices, all for just $25. But this half-price deal ends soon. So call and switch today. Cable One, the face of fast.
Enjoy a Texas Burger chicken strip dinner today.
So what do you think? We're back to play. Final 4 seconds. Looks like they're not going to kick it. They've got the full complement of offense. They've got Wynn to the left. They've got Brother, Hammond, and Hawkins here to the right.
3 receivers. Watch them throw it up down
So you think maybe they're going to try to either complete the pass or get a penalty, get an untimed down?
Goodness.
But is that going to be another 5-yarder?
Midland High called a timeout, Barry.
Okay, well, they wanted to see what Permian was going to do, and then they can make their adjustments as well. So we'll be back in just a moment.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's 2 guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's 2 dudes on the State Farm
Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Want to borrow better? Contact State Farm agent Mike Podzemny about a car loan that can save you hundreds.
Forest Tire has kept you rolling since 1944 with 3 generations of ownership and 4 generations of management. Forest Tire carries the complete lines of Michelin and BF Goodrich car and light truck tires. And Forest offers more than just tires. Be it brakes, alignments, or shocks, your vehicle's best friend is Forest Tire. With 24-hour road service, you can count on Forest Tire for all your tire and automotive needs. Forest Tire, 8 locations in West Texas and southeastern New Mexico.
Enjoy the best cheeseburger in town at Texas Burger.
Thanks for being with us tonight. Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Odessa College and Hokenthorpe CPAs.
Well, Midland High did not have enough defenders over here. Well, that's why they called that timeout. Permian's going to stay with the same formation. Watch these 3 guys at the bottom here maybe take off and get you a little tip drill.
You don't think they're going to try to detract attention and have Hunter instead try to go to the other side with Wynn, do you? You think they ought to put 5 guys on the line and just throw it up?
Well, it wouldn't be a bad idea. And here it is. He's going to throw it in the end zone. Let him go get it.
Well, it attracted a bunch of them, but he threw it 5 yards out, so it's not going to be completed. And we have come to the end of one half. We started up, knotted off at 0. We've completed one half, knotted up at 21 all. So stay with us. Coming up, our halftime show presented by Rosa's Cafe and Tortilla Factory and MyTV 16. And then after that, of course, what promises to be a barn burner of a second half. Again, 21 all, Permian and the Midland High Bulldogs.
When it comes to great food and good times, make it Rosa's Cafe. We've been making memories and friendships with fresh and delicious comfort food, Rosa's style, for over 30 years. After all, life is better with Rosa's Cafe.
The Rosa's Cafe and Tortilla, the My 16 halftime show, great as ever. Certainly was. Boy, we had a barn burner of a first half. Permian completed one pass for 0 yards. Midland for 144 yards and a couple of scores. Permian, though, ran for 190. Going to be a tough second half, isn't it?
It really is. And just some of the individual statistics to go along with that. Ed Williams in the first half, 21 carries, 85 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Got some help also from Brother Miller, 5 carries for 36, and Steve Steen helping out in that rushing department, 6 carries for 52 yards. Actually, Midland High, according to Larry, had 164 yards passing in that first half.
How many?
164.
Oh, I said 44, my bad.
Yeah, 164 according to this. Of course, quarterback A to Z had a good first half himself, throwing to a couple of different people. Touchdown pass to number 1 for them, McLean Mannix. That was the first play of the game when they had the ball. Good strike there. Also a couple of receptions to a couple of other people there. And I tell you, Barry, the team I think that wins this game is the team that is going to make the best defensive adjustments at halftime.
Now, the Panthers have allowed have allowed only 26 points in the third quarter. However, Midland has scored a season best 79 in the third quarter. That is their most active of the 4. So, as they say, something has to give. Permian again will pop the ball up. Going to return it out to about the 40-yard line, and they'll start from there as they continue to not kick the ball deep, but give them pretty good field position.
Yeah, and evidently they've seen something scouting-wise that they feel like they need to keep the hands or the ball from going deep and allowing that Midland High offense to, as you said, start with pretty good field position at their own 41-yard line.
So that's where they will start. Midland will get the ball here as we get the second half underway. Big ball games all around district tonight. This one of the 3 biggest. Odessa High has the night off, but boy, a big ball game going on over in Midland tonight with San Angelo and Lee, and then the other big ball game is Tascosa at Wolforth Friendship. But this one as big as any of them, matching Midland and Permian up together tonight. And the first play of the third quarter is going to get Bulldogs a couple, 2nd and 8.
Yep, they played that pretty well. Boy, that was almost picked right there, Barry. dangerous pass. Preston Ellison on the coverage there for the Panthers from his rover or safety position. Almost stepped in front of that, and going to make this a 3rd and about 8. The previous play, Rakib Adeyemi did a great job of making that play from his corner position over there and got a little help from Matt Jones as well.
It'll be 3rd and 8 on this opening series of the second half. Kyle always talks about it being the most important quarter in series in Permian. After the pass completed to Mannix is surrounded by defenders. Up there, A.J. Lopez and others to make the hit. And advantage Permian as they will force the kick from Mannix.
A Matt Jones, great pursuit from his linebacker position. That was an adjustment that Permian made at the half to take that wide receiver screen away, and did a great job on making that play on 2 of the 3 plays in that series. And as Barry said, now Midland High is going to have to punt it to Brother Miller and the Panthers.
Mannix had a school record 87-yard punt when they played Midland Lee. Also had a 61-yarder that night, so certainly a weapon with his leg as well as his arms and his feet. And Permian now will receive the punt and will be back on offense. So that very important first drive of the second half, Kyle, advantage Permian D.
Absolutely, and now the Panthers have the ball. See what kind of adjustments they made at halftime to combat this Midland High defense. They had some very good success, as we said, statistically running the football in that first half. I think they're going to have to get some yardage in the air at some point in the second half.
Well, they had 0 passing yards in the first half, 1 completion for nothing. Elected instead to run it. Did have the 190 yards on the ground. Brother Miller certainly heavily involved in that first half, along with the Williams 85-yard effort. So let's see if they're going to adjust anything and do anything different. Williams will get the ball here. No, Steen's going to keep it, and Steen's going to be rudely taken down by the sophomore Essman.
And they had 2 men in motion, Barry. Chuck Alderson's going to say.
2 men moving at the snap.
How many yards and penalties they have in the first half?
Well, let's look and see. According to Larry Thornhill, oh, that's the Dogs. It might help if I looked at for Permian. 30-something yards in the first half, but 31 yards in the first half.
Well, they got to take the bullets out of that gun, quit shooting themselves in the foot. So the penalty will take it back to the 21. It's going to make it a 1st and 15. The injured player in the first half, Eccles Willie, is back on the field. He's number 30 for Midland High. So now they're going to decline the penalty because of the they lost yardage back to the 23.
Steve got left out to dry there because everybody stopped on the whistles or on the penalty, and Midland High is going to take the loss on the play of about 2 to 3 yards and make this 2nd and 13. Another critical error by the Panthers to start the drive.
So they're going to hand the ball. Nope. I thought he was going to hand it off. Then I thought he was going to pitch it, but he's going to keep it. And Steve Steen, who just still running loose, going to be close to what he needs for a first. So a great Herculean effort by the junior quarterback. Watch the replay, and he just keeps on moving, doesn't he?
Yep, keeps his feet going inside. Actually runs into the back of one of his offensive linemen there, number 63 for the Panthers. That is Dawson Reynolds, but just bounced off him like a pinball inside a pinball machine and kept on going and got that first down, Barry.
Yeah, they're going to mark him at the 38, which was enough for the first. Actually 37, I'm sorry. The 37s were first down. So Permian does move the chains as we start the second half here. Going to hand it off again to Williams, just trying to muscle up behind those blockers. Didn't get a whole lot there as they brought him down. The first guy to hit him was Abney, that big chunk, number 99.
And in this offense, Barry, you do still have to give that ball to the dive back every now and then just to keep the defense honest. Don't let them start thinking you're going to go outside and get those pursuit angles from the defense there. Keep that defense honest in the middle, and then you can work off of that. So about a 2 to 3 yard gain there for Williams on first down.
Yeah, they're going to mark him out at the 40. How many times did they run the ball in the first half? You look that up real quick.
Yep.
So it's going to be second down. Miller's going to get the pitch here. He's going to get the corner, going to have the first, and maybe just a yard more or so. Finally run out by Thornton. But Permian again will move the chains.
Looks like 33 times in the first half, according to Larry, Barry.
They ran the ball 33 times the entire game against Friendship a couple of weeks ago, 35 the week before that. The most was against Franklin. They had 56 attempts, and surprisingly here they marked Brother a yard short. I thought he was beyond the sticks, but they're going to mark him at about the 46 and a half. But already in the first half equaling the number of rushing attempts that they had the entire game a couple of weeks ago. Apparently saw something on film to tell them they could exploit the run defense. That's going to be enough for the first as they're out to the 49.
And that is this offense, Barry, as we've talked about in the past. That is a staple of this offense. They want to establish the run and then make you suck up with 7, 8, 9 guys in the box and then hit you with the pass when they can. And that's what they do with this option offense. And it got them a first down with that play right there.
Ed Williams, the sophomore back, the only one behind Steen. We have a couple of receivers here on the left, one on the right. Williams, those still going. Those early holes that we saw in the first half have been kind of plugged up here. Garcia and Barron combined for the tackle after a gain of but close to 3.
64 offense with hands to the face.
Another penalty, Barry, at a costly time in the drive. A personal foul, hands to the face.
How many penalties does Midland have? Well, they had the 15-yarder.
This
5. Okay.
As you were talking and looking at that, Barry.
On the clock, 8:35.
Got to readjust the time on the clock. But this Midland High defense is averaging giving up 260 yards on the ground. So, as you said, this is something that Permian definitely saw in the films, and that is what this offense does. But now 2nd and 20, now you've got to think about at some point the ball is going to go into the airways, and you've got to execute a pass here to get yourself out of the 2nd and 22 hole.
That's exactly the hole they're in from the 37. They're going to have to get out to the Bulldog 41 if they want to keep this drive going. It's going to be a second down play, is it not? Yep. Going to be second in a bunch.
See our referee Chuck Alderson there, the umpire Albert Cortez, head linesman Richard Gutierrez, line judge Jerome Chavez, and the back judge Robbie Waters are officials tonight working this district ball game.
Okay, now 2nd 22, you need to get at least 11, right?
Yeah, 11 to 12, so you can make it somewhat manageable on 3rd down. And the Panthers are not happy with how they're lined up, and they're going to get over here and talk about it.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Nimbus Drinking Water Systems and Medical Center Hospital. Who are the offensive linemen at the moment?
It looks like number 72 for the Panthers. Oliveris is playing left guard. Doesn't look like anything else has switched.
And then they need to get at least 11. Hammond's going to get the ball here, and he's going to be dragged down by Mannix, but not before he gets out to the 48-yard line. So he picked up 11, exactly what they needed, bringing up a 3rd and 11 here on this critical play early in the 3rd quarter. A good run there by Justin Hammond, who's stepping into the position vacated by Robinson and his unavailability tonight due to injury. So the sophomore gets the 11 yards we were hoping they would get. And now facing a 3rd and 11, he will have Wynn and Miller here on the left-hand side. He will have up on the right, going to have Hawkins. Going to try something deep, has a man open, and he overshoots him again.
And he got held.
Oh, he had him. He got held up. But my goodness, had him open and couldn't quite complete the play.
Yeah, it was open. If he just put some air under the ball right now, Steve's got to put some touch on the ball and get that to him. He did get held up, I thought, a little bit down here off the line of scrimmage. But, again, that ball has to have some air in it so he can run under it. He had it there and would have been a first down. It's going to force the Panthers into a punting situation.
Well, maybe it may have even been 6 on the board. He had about a 3-yard lead on his defender, so they're going to have James come in and punt if he can get his foot into it. And they got a good shot at pinning the Bulldogs deep inside the 20-yard line. They're saying get away from it. Did it go off the side of his foot again?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. They could have pinned him deep, and instead they're going to mark it where?
Well, he's still walking forward here with the official going to be across the 30, right at the 31-yard line of Midland High. They picked up around
17 yards.
Yep, 17 yards in field position, and I don't believe one of the coaches down here is very happy with that kick either.
Well, he had some issues last week or 2 weeks ago against Friendship, so still a tie score. Inside the 8-minute mark, Anuskowicz is going to pitch it back to his running back Hubert, who breaks the line of scrimmage. He's still on his feet. He's down across midfield, and Hubert's going to be all the way down into Permian territory at the 41-yard line. So just like that, from his 31, Ricky Hubert goes down to the Permian 41.
Speed option from the Bulldogs there, pitches the ball out to the corner. Gets good blocking on the edge, and boy, they're off to the races, and here they go again.
Well, he had 28 on that one, and he's almost going to score, and he will score from 41 yards out. So Hubert, is there a flag on the play, Larry?
Yes, there is a flag.
So let's check the flag. If not, then it's going to be a 69-yard
number 72
run score by Midland, but that's going to come back.
10-yard penalty.
Yep,
Repeat first down.
Sorry about that, Chuck. First down. The touchdown is going to be nullified. Yep, because of the end of the hold was on the inside part of the interior line, and
man, there was a hole there to run through.
There was a hole. Nobody had the guy out on the edge. No pursuit, and Permian very fortunate to get another chance to play this play from 1st and 20 instead of lining up to block an extra point.
Well, they had a shot at him very briefly, and once he crossed that front 7, that was all she wrote. So Ricky Hubert's going to be back there with Anuskowicz, who's going to throw the ball out here, and he's going to have it caught, but just as quickly he's going to go down to the turf as Permian very quickly comes up and makes the catch, or makes the tackle on Bowers, and he's not going to get much of anything.
Quick screen outside. Permian's adjusted to that. Preston Ellison making the play from his safety position. Did not get blocked, and absolutely nothing on that play for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they lost a couple, actually, that thanks to Ellison quickly up there to grab a hold of Bowers and absolutely not let go. Anuskowicz is going to run here, and he's not going to get anything because of a couple of guys coming up to make the tackle. One was Herb Anderson, and the other was the sophomore linebacker, Matt Jones, that you probably read about in the paper this morning. So he will get a couple. Could have got a whole lot more than that, but now it's going to be Midland facing a 3rd and 20. Now I'm going to keep my eye on number 81. They haven't gotten McMarion involved tonight other than a kickoff return. He's one of their all-time career leading receivers. Let's see if they look his way. Nope, they're going to dump it off here short to Hubert, and Hubert has it go through his hands, bounce off his knees, and falls incomplete. And that will force Mannix to come back in and punt the ball away.
Herb Anderson out there again from the inside linebacker position, putting a little pressure coming on, trying to get the quarterback A to Z, and just did not execute. I think they'd have had him anyway. And another punting situation for the Bulldogs.
So with Robinson's absence, we're going to see Miller again back to receive this punt. He's done a good job of returning them tonight. Mannix is going to probably kick it over his head, and Miller's going to just let it go over his head and into the end zone. And hopefully Permian will come away with it in good field position.
That's a wounded duck off his foot right there, Barry. I know it's hunting season, but it's not duck hunting season yet, but somebody might have taken a shot at that if it had been out in the field.
I know the Robertsons on Duck Dynasty would love to see a wounded duck.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the punt means Permian will start with the 8:03 mark, or is that 6:03 mark, of the third quarter. Nobody's been able to do anything here yet. So the tie score at 21-all we had at halftime is where we stand at this moment. So Permian now starting from the 31.
A wash on field position. They started at their 31, and now we're going to start on our 31.
Yeah, before that, it was Midland starting at their 41 and us at the 28.
It's flipped a little bit.
Yeah, so Williams or Steen are going to run the ball here. Steen's going to keep it. Got some good running room up there before coming up to make the tackle on him. Was the cornerback, was Marquez and Barron. Barron's the linebacker. But Steen just kept it, saw something, and picked up 6.
Midland High right now, Barry, defensively, as far as formation and how they want to play Permian right now, they're daring Permian to throw the football. They got one high safety. They're playing man coverage on the outside in the slot, and they're daring Permian to throw the football. Permian didn't have to because the run game's working right now.
Well, he got close to 5. It'll be a
6.
second down play. Got 6, okay. So going to be a handoff here to, nope, Steen going to keep it again. Steen's going to be close to what he needs for the first, maybe a mark. And one ref comes up and says 3rd down. So they're going to mark it just outside the 40. He needs the 41. So you just tap the center's butt and go forward for a yard?
Nah, they'll give it, I think, to Williams here. Maybe Steen keep her right in behind him. They're not going to do much with this, just try to get the first down. And as I said earlier in the game, ground and pound right now.
Well, against Austin Vanderbilt, Permian had their league low yardage passing the ball. They only had 27 yards that night. They've got nothing tonight, and again, they're going to hand the ball off, but Ed Williams gets what he needs, and the sticks will move.
Yep, good first down there for the Panther offense to keep this drive going with 4:39. Chuck Alderson, our referee, signals for the clock to begin, and another set of fresh downs for the Panthers.
And the Panthers threw for 27 the first week, 217 next, 125 in week 3, 97 in week 4. 152 against Friendship, but they have nothing in the passing department tonight. So 1st and 10 now from the 42. We're going to run the ball here again. It's going to be Hammond. Hammond's going to get 5, maybe a little more than that. It's going to be Mannix that will come up and hit on him, along with
Mannix
was that 52?
54, I thought.
Okay, Essman is the other tackle. Boy, he's a sophomore they really like. Leading tackler on this team, and there he is again. Mannix, you notice, is playing 2 ways tonight. Playing offense as well as starting at safety. Holt Wood unable to go tonight. We thought we'd see Tyler Clattenhoff, but it's been instead Mannix. So, 3 yards on first down. They're going to bring up second.
Let's see if Permian wants to throw the ball vertically here and take a shot.
Well, he's had some guys open, but hadn't been able to hit him. Miller's going to, well, he was hoping to get Hammond to get a block for him to get around the corner. There is a flag on the play. The loss is going to be maybe a yard. No, going to be at least 3.
Offense.
What was it called?
Holding call on the Panthers inside.
Arena.
Yep. Let's see if they decline it and force a 3rd and long.
10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
They are going to take the penalty and force Permian into a 2nd, and probably it's from the spot, so it'll probably be around 15 yards, looks like, Barry. That might be a break for Permian. Give them another shot to maybe attack vertically or out on the edge.
Well, it's going to be 15 they need. 2nd down, so if we use the theory we used a moment ago, get half of it. So let's see if Hammond or somebody's going to be able to pick up at least 7 here. 7 or 8. Of course, I'd like to get the whole 15 if you really want to know.
Hey, let's think big. Let's get in the end zone.
Okay.
That would work.
Yep.
See if they got a tight end in the game now.
Going to hand the ball off to Williams. Williams is going to get across the 40 before Mannix and the other guys clamp down on him there. And the gain's going to be only 3, so it's going to be a good 11, close to 12 needed. Permian's going to have to get to the Bulldog 48. Well, it's like 2 sumo wrestlers here in the 3rd quarter, just kind of grunting and moving left and right, not much more than that.
Defenses have made adjustments, which is what we talked about at half. The team that makes the best adjustment defensively may be the one that comes out on top here. Permian with 3 receivers to the top.
Well, if they complete the thing for positive yardage, it's going to be the first time tonight.
Yep.
Wynn's the only guy here on the left. He has 3 receivers on the right. Going to hand it off to Williams. Williams is not going to get what he needs. It's going to be well short. Is coming up to make the tackle on him was Clattenhoff, the safety. So Permian's going to have to punt. They're going to be out to the 46-yard line, but kind of a conservative call, wasn't it?
Well, it was, and you don't want to make a mistake in a tight ball game where you're looking to get your first district win under your belt this year.
Good point.
Got to get yourself back into the district race in the win column. You know, this I think we talked about at dinner. This is a big ball game for Permian tonight, no question about it.
So James needs to right himself and get a good kick here. It's going to be a fake, and Permian's going to have the first. They're going to be down into Bulldog territory, protecting the ball and getting the first down. Permian has snookered them, and it's going to be a 1st and 10 Mojo.
Tanner Adams. Here comes the replay. Tanner Adams, right the up back. Watch it. He's going to come right into your living room, folks. You make the tackle on him because, boy, Midland High got faked out with the motion. They sent a defender with that guy, and the middle of the formation was wide open. Great design by whoever's in charge of the special teams punt team for the Permian Panthers. They must have seen that on film, executed it well, and got the ball down to the 26-yard line of Midland High.
So the fake punt is a 27-yard gain by the sophomore linebacker / up back. And Permian is on the move. There was not a flag there, was there?
No. They had the stretch play here, Barry, and had it blocked other than one guy got Williams by the shoestrings or the ankles there. If he doesn't, he's off to the races. 2nd and 9 from the 25-yard line.
Now, Permian has as many as 5 sophomores playing on defense. One of them just made what could be the play of the game tonight. As Tanner got the ball down to the 27-yard line. Now Steen's going to throw it. Here comes a whole lot of pressure. Is he going to have to throw it and get it away, or did he run out of bounds with it?
He might have been out of bounds before he got rid of the ball. I think it's going to be called an incomplete pass.
Wow.
Looks like from the far sideline. Here's the call from Chuck Alderson, our referee.
Ruling on the play is incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass. There you go.
An incomplete pass.
Yeah, there you go. We got you, Chuck. Yes. Incomplete pass, buddy.
Yeah, so Tanner Adams, ballsy run there on 4th down has put Permian at the 27-yard line. Williams is at 100 yards unofficially. The gain was to the 25. And so now it's going to set up a 3rd and 8.
Timeout. Permian. Second team timeout.
Now the Panthers are 1 of 9 throwing the ball tonight. Couple of wide open receivers that Steen was not able to hit. So now facing a 3rd and 9 with 19 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Do you throw it? They're not wanting to, it seems like.
Consider it. Oh, going to give it to Williams for a touchdown. They're close.
It's going to be close. He's going to be down to the 5-yard line for a gain of 20 before Ed Williams is forced out. But Permian, thanks to blocking over on the right from Leland Reynolds, will be set up at 1st and 10.
And I'm telling you, Oliveris pulled from number 72 from the left side all the way across to the other side, and that's what opened it up as well, along with those other guys you were talking about. And Ed Williams was off to the races on 3rd and 9 to pick up a key first down for this Permian offense. And it'll be 1st and goal from the 6 for Permian at that spot.
Yeah, if Chris Sims hadn't run him out there, he would have scored on the play. So Permian now will hand the ball back to him. Thought that Steen was going to keep it for a moment. They had me fooled. He's going to get maybe a yard to the 5.
There's that special formation again, Barry. The tight end, guard, and center on the right. The guard and 2 tackles on the left, and tried to set an unbalanced line to get it open. Midland High played it really pretty well.
Well, they've played it pretty well both tonight here in the 3rd quarter, as neither team was able to put something on the board, but Permian's knocking. When we come back to the 4th quarter of play, they will face a 2nd and goal from the Bulldog 5. After 3, we're tied up at 21 all.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper. You know, as long as it's been college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands. Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper. And I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop. And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition.
Good story, bro.
It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper, here. High five. I invented that, too.
I am so proud of you. Mom, we can't forget roses.
Oh, you're right.
When it comes to great food and good times, make it Rose's Cafe. For over 30 years, we've been a part of those special moments in life with fresh and delicious comfort food, Rose's style. After all, life is better with Rose's Cafe.
As a busy mom, I'm always all over Odessa. Lucky for me, so is Medical Center Health System. So when the kids needed flu shots and sports physicals, the clinic at Walmart was my first stop. Then Mr. Fix-It hit his thumb with a hammer last weekend. Fortunately, urgent care was close by. The big baby. And it's nice to know that Family Health Clinic is always there with quality care and flexible pricing. Whenever I need them, wherever I am, Medical Center Health System has my family covered. They're my one source for health.
Try Texas Burger's new Banana Royale. You'll love it.
Our Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by the Paving Pros and State Farm Insurance agent Mike Podzimny. Well, at this juncture and where they are here on the 4-yard line, 5-yard line, I mean, you're going to do nothing but just keep it on the ground, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's ground and pound right now for sure.
Now they've got Hawkins and Wynn left and right. Brothers there in the slot, nearest the tight end or nearest the left side tackle. Now coming in motion, they're going to flip it to him, and he's going to score. No, he's not. He's going to be pushed out at the 6-yard line. So they lost one, and it's going to be a 3rd and goal from the 6. Well, he didn't quite cut it up quick enough, and they used that sideline against him.
And they had inside-out pursuit from the linebacker, or I couldn't tell if that might be a nickel cornerback or safety up there. Didn't get it blocked either, so lost actually a couple yards there.
Yeah, so Hammond and brother are going to be there on the left. Are they going to run it here or they throw it? Now, remember, they've already used 2 timeouts, but Midland now is going to call one of their own. So the chess match continues. 11:57. We're just inside of the 4th quarter of play. We're tied up at 21. Back in a moment.
E&E Service and Supply is your leader in well service supplies and rig packages. We manufacture oil savers, rod transfers, rod strippers, pipe wiper blocks, weight indicators and pads, rope sockets, drop valves, guy line blocks, swab mandrels, fishing tools, slip cylinders for Advance, BJ, and Giberson, and a whole lot more. Please come by E&E Service and Supply at 3501 Brazos.
Thanks for coming back and being with us. The Transglobal Productions, Bob Bailey crew. Tonight here with the Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, brought to you in part by Hokenthorpe CPAs and Odessa College. So, Kyle is saying hand it to 27, let Williams do the dirty work. I'm saying, hey, Steve Steen, keep it.
So they got brother now split out. You can see him, folks, on your screen. He's the number 3 receiver from the top.
Yeah, so Hunter, Wynn, and Hammond are the other 2.
They got some guys out there, so they might could run off left here and be okay. Nope. And let Steve do it and get in the end zone.
And I do believe that I called the play.
You did.
All right. Did you see something, Larry? Who made the call?
Saw a block right on the corner. Here it comes. Right 27, a great chop block right there.
Williams absolutely leveled his man and sprung his quarterback free. And Permian with the first score of the second half as Steve Steen will just blast his way into the end zone from 6 yards out, and Permian takes their second lead of the night, and now James on the field to try the all-important extra point.
Good call, Larry Thornhill. He saw the block. I didn't see who got it sprung there, but Larry saw it, and that was absolutely a textbook chop block by the back there.
So Steen with his second rushing TD of the night, this one from 6 yards out. The extra point by Jacob James has put Permian in a 7-point lead. 28-21 Mojo with just under 12 minutes to play in the ball game.
Does your truck or pipe yard surface look like this? I think it's time to call Paving Pro. Stop driving around in circles trying to avoid potholes. Call the professionals at Paving Pro. They'll have you a smooth surface in no time. And best of all, a smoother surface can limit the wear and tear on your equipment, keeping damage made by a rough surface with potholes at a minimum. Thanks, Paving Pro. Call Paving Pro for all your driveway and parking lot needs.
Diamond Pump and Transport LLC specializes in oil field transportation. We are locally owned and operated and do business in the Permian Basin and West Texas areas. We also provide hot oil service, acid pumping, water hauling, tank cleaning, and other types of oil field transport and hauling services. We invite you to call us today. Diamond Pump and Transport LLC, 432-617-8084.
Texas Burger Ice Cream, the cool end to a great meal.
Permian had an 8-play, 68-yard drive in 3 minutes and 34 seconds. They had a 10-play, 74-yard drive in 6 minutes 7. This one, 13 plays in 6 minutes 11 seconds to cover the 69 yards. And for the second time tonight, Steen is on the board and Permian in the lead. Permian has run for just under 300 yards in the ball game. Their season high, 384 against Franklin back in week 2, but 300 tonight, I'll take it. And again, Permian's going to keep it short, and it's going to be fumbled there at the 20. Ball's on the ground, and Permian, I think, came up with it.
Yes, they did. They kicked the ball deep finally, allowed the guy to come up and run the ball, and then the hit was made right at about the 25-yard line.
Who do you think came up with it?
I'm going to guess Ellison, maybe?
Nope. Try again. Who ran that fake punt a moment ago?
Oh, really? Adams? Yes, sir. Tanner Adams, the man on the spot. I still didn't see the hit, but man, Tanner Adams on the spot. Permian can really give themselves some breathing room here now with another score, with 11:48 and another critical turnover right now in this ball game.
So Permian now will start from the 30-yard line, just inside the 30. Going to keep it. Steen is going to keep the ball. Steen's going to get to the 20. And the play is going to be stopped because of a little yellow hanky. And going to cost them 5. Dadgummit.
Hang on. Face mask. I kind of thought that.
But why would you stop the play?
You don't stop the play. He got tackled.
Oh, he did? Okay.
He got tackled, but the face mask was there. I kind of thought there was no way it was going to be a holding. There wasn't any Permian guys but one there to block. So I kind of thought this might go the other way, and that was exactly the call.
No, you're right.
Big penalty against Midland High here right now.
Well, a huge penalty puts it on the 14-yard line. So Steen gets the yardage and the call. Now they're going to hand the ball to the sophomore Williams, who's going to run off right tackle.
Steve Steen's going to keep it, Barry. Watch.
And that's going to be 27. And they're going to keep the ball game going.
Really?
No, you're right. Steen kept it.
Really?
Yeah. Steve's going to score. Well, the second time this year that Steen has scored 3 times running the ball in the ball game in Permian. For the first time tonight's going to be leading by at least 13, maybe 14.
And did you see why Steve kept the ball there? The defensive end crashed down on Ed Williams, and that is Steve's read on that play. If the end crashes, you keep it and replace yourself outside from where the end was. Steve did that, kept his feet going, and got into the end zone for another Permian touchdown.
Well, again, Jacob James with a very important extra point, and it is good. So Permian with 2 touchdowns within 40 seconds have taken command of the ball game and lead it by 35-21 with 11:12 to play in the fourth quarter. Back to Ratliff in a moment.
Ready for the best deal ever from Cable One? For a limited time, $25 gets you 100 megs. Really, $25? That's half price on high-speed internet. We've never offered you so much for so little. So call Cable One at 855-740-8971. 100 megs means reliable Wi-Fi and the best streaming on all your devices, all for just $25. But this half-price deal ends soon. So call and switch today. Cable One, the face of fast.
The Dr. Pepper and Trans Global Productions Game of the Week brought to you in part tonight by Permian Basin Area-Wide Phone Book and by Texas Burger. Well, I tell you, the Guy I'm looking at for the defensive player of the game, special teams player of the game, is going to be Tanner Adams. Picked up a fumble recovery on the kickoff, mishandled by the returning team of the Bulldogs. Only took him 2 plays, for actually 1 because the penalty for Steve Steen to cap it off with a 14-yard run. 2 plays, 30 yards in 36 seconds. Steen had 3 TDs against Franklin and equals that with 3 tonight. Now the Bulldogs gather the ball at the 8-yard line. They're going to be out across the 30. There's a flag, so it's going to take them back half the distance. And Permian now with a 2 TD lead cushion will come back out on defense and probably feeling a whole lot better about things.
I think this is going to be an illegal hands to the face. A Permian player's helmet came flying off on the block. And I would not be surprised if this is that type of call.
Holding 88 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Either way, it puts the Bulldogs, as Barry said, back another 10 yards. The Permian defense has got to clamp down right now, Barry. Can't relax.
Well, we've seen one thing that we don't want to have happen, and that is if they're able to break loose with Hubert on a play, he comes right back, gets the ball again for an even bigger play. So they've got to guard against that. Steve Steen, 90 yards tonight, 3 touchdowns, looking good. Has a couple of 100-yard effort games to his side this year. Ran for 127 and 103 in back-to-back weeks in week 2 and 3. And he's certainly leading the way tonight. And now on first down, Midland will go from their from their 17 for a good gain out close to the 24. So it's going to be second and about 3 needed.
There he goes, Barry, off over the right side there. Missed a tackle right at the line of scrimmage there.
Finally forced out by Lopez, but yeah, you can't let him get free. How many yards does Hubert have tonight?
Got to go at it right now, Barry. Cannot relax up front in the front 7. Sweep. Wow, good tackle right there. That's our guy again, number 47, Tanner Adams, right there making the play from his linebacker position on the sweep from the Bulldogs, coming from the slot guy, in motion, coming from the top to the near side.
It'll be second down after that effort.
Oh!
Almost picked off. Now, Permian had a shot at it, but the ground knocked it away from Ellison, but that's going to bring up a 3rd down play. Now, they haven't really been able to get much pressure on A to Z, have they?
They haven't, and A to Z looked the safety right to that ball. He didn't look him off at all. Preston Ellison reading his eyes all the way from the snap. Almost got this. Is a big 3rd and 5 right here, Barry, in the ball game.
Yeah, he's only thrown for 6 yards here in the second half. Permian certainly has done the job defensively. Now, Manuskowitz dropping back a lot of time, has a wide open pocket to throw from, but he cannot connect it. Could not complete the ball. It popped out of his hands. Bowers couldn't hang on to it. Childress couldn't hang on to it. And unless Coach Yenzer rolls the dice here, it's going to be a 4th down play.
And they had the right play, and the quarterback did a good job of waiting for the route to come open from the top to the bottom. The execution was not made by the receiver, and you are exactly right, Barry. Coach Yenser's going to roll the dice here with 10-13 left in the 4th quarter on 4th and 5.
Panther opponents have only been good on 3 of 11 4th down plays before now. So Anuskowitz looking down the field has him open. Is that Mannix running free? Yes, Mannix will score for the 2nd time tonight from 57 yards out. Well, he found a soft spot. Once he had it, nobody was going to catch it.
That's a busted coverage, I think, somehow, Barry, because neither safety got over the top of that route at all. It was wide open from about the 8-yard mark. I'm talking from the receiver coming off the line of scrimmage, about the 8-yard mark. He was wide open with nobody on him.
57 yards away, and Midland's on the board. Mannix's first 2 receiving touchdown game of the season, and the Bulldogs have drawn within 7. 10:04 to play in the ball game. It's Permian 35 and the Bulldogs 28.
During the National Flooring Sales Event at Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring, you can get beautiful new floors for your home today and have 36 interest-free months to pay. 36 months with no interest on beautiful new carpeting, hardwood, tile, and luxury vinyl is the best and biggest deal Paul Evans has ever offered. Hurry to Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring today, because when October ends, so does this incredible deal. Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring, under the huge Texas flag in downtown Odessa.
The Midland Bulldogs tonight have scored on a 1-yard run, but Anuskowitz has hit big on pass plays of 57, 45, and 45. And it's going to be Midland now, trailing by 7. Permian up 35-28 as we play at 10:04 to play in the ball game. This Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Texas Burger and by the Permian Basin area-wide phone book. The return's not going to be much, because they're going to get him short of the 20, maybe down to the 15.
And I think right now the Permian offense, Barry, the philosophy has to be get some first downs and get some time off this clock. Even another score, even a field goal would help right now. No doubt about it. Let's see what happens here.
Now we're going to start now from the 15-yard line.
See a good look from the north camera there. The back of the Panther offense.
They could just stay with the philosophy of running the ball.
Yeah, I think you do too. You've had very good success at it. Take care of the football here right now. You've got to put yardage and first downs together.
Mannix, by the way, 4 catches for 111 and 2 TDs. The quarterback, Steen's going to have the first down. Going to be all the way out across the 30-yard line for a gain of 15, his third 100-yard effort of the season. Mannix, let me go back there again, the second time he's been over 100 this year. But, man, what a leadership role Steen has taken tonight. Panthers have run the ball for 327 yards. Their season highest effort running the ball was 56 attempts. They've run the ball 54 times tonight for 327. Quick math will tell you that's 6 yards per play. Coming into the ball game, they were averaging, 310 divided by 42 per game is. So now they're going to hand the ball off to Williams. Williams gets hit in the backfield, but still managed to move forward for a couple of yards. Out to the, in fact, not a couple of yards, but back to the original line of scrimmage.
And again, folks, we call that the stretch play because the linemen are working a gap or two over from where they originally start. They want to stretch the defense to the sideline and allow the back to either keep going to the open area or take a plant on an outside foot and cut back into an open lane.
They've certainly decided to make it ground and pound tonight. Going to be 2nd and 10 now from the 31-yard line. Going to hand the ball off. No, Steen will keep it, but this time nowhere to go. They're going to try to tackle the ball. Garcia got a hold of him, but he smartly wrapped his mitts around it. Going to be no gain and bring up a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I mean, passing, you would think passing situation here, Barry. Not necessarily the case. With the clock running at 8:30.
I think that's the key right there, isn't it?
The clock running. Another first down would certainly help right now.
So 3rd down facing Permian, needing the full 10 yards. Have to get out close to the 40-41-yard line for a first down. Does Mojo. Let's see if Steen elects to put the ball in the air. He's going to look downfield. Looks for a man. There's a lot of pressure. Does have a man open. Trying to get the ball to Hunter Hawkins, but it falls incomplete.
Passing game simply has not been there tonight, Barry. That was excellent coverage. Hawkins did have a little bit of a step there, but the ball way overthrown. And now the Panther defense is going to have to step up and make a play here, stop Midland High on this next possession and see if they can get the ball back to their offense to maybe grind some more of that clock off.
Well, what you don't want to do is, one, kick it short, And the other is you don't want to let somebody get behind you for a 50-yard play.
They don't even have anybody back here, so let's get a good punt. That's not too bad. See if we can get a roll now. Absolutely. Keep going.
Well, they kept it inside the field to play, which played to Permian's advantage, as well as their kicker, James. Going to be down from 131 down to the 21-yard line. So now Midland trailing by 7. We're just under the 8-minute mark to play in the ball game, and the Permian defense is going to have to step it up.
Can't give up the home run ball. You talked about it. Absolutely right now. Get some pressure on this quarterback. Another turnover would be even better right now if you could get it.
Well, if you can find a way to pick a Nuskowitz, that would certainly be great. So now from the 31-yard line, going to throw the ball down the field, and almost picked off. They tried to get the ball into Bowers, into Childress again, and it falls incomplete and just almost picked off by Permian.
And Preston Ellison had excellent coverage there, breaking on the ball as it's being delivered. Got a hand in there and got that ball in the air, like you said, and almost a deflection into a teammate's hands for a turnover.
Now, the most recent game that Permian had no passing yards, would you believe, was back in 2003 when they played Big Spring. Only 7 times in the club history have they not thrown the ball for any yardage whatsoever. Well, that's looking like tonight's going to be another one of those. This time they hand the ball off inside to the big boy, Hubert. And Hubert's going to set up a manageable third down play.
Good job there by the inside of the Panther defense. Tanner Adams again on the in on that stop right there for Permian.
So third down facing Midland High.
Yep, that's going to be another reception by Mannix out there. Ran a little skinny post or slant right behind the out route. Here's the replay. Showed the out route, threw it right in behind, and an excellent catch by Mannix.
Well, he's already committed to go to Vanderbilt. They don't have him listed as a receiver or defensive back or anything, just simply athlete. Did his visit there, and the coach was very impressed with him and said, come join us. And that forced his move, I think, from Midland Christian to Midland High. Mentioned earlier that he wanted to play at the 6A level prior to going to college. Well, he came up with a big play there. Now second down and close to 7 needed. Nuskowitz has a man open running all the way down the field all by his lonesome. And one more time, Mannix is going to be in the end zone for a season-best third time. And we are all knotted up. So Permian took a 35-20, a 35-21 lead on a 14-yard run by Steen, and then Mannix has turned the tables on them with catches and runs. One of 57, this of 49, and Midland's on the board for the 5th time tonight, and looking for Correa, who was 90% coming into the game, looking to add the 35th point. He missed it, did he?
I got it through.
Well, he barely hooked that thing through the left upright, but we are all knotted up. Permian defense is kind of reeling after back-to-back scores by Midland. We're knotted up at 35 all with only 6:40 to play in the ball game.
Your new Texas Burger is now open at 191 in Fodry in Odessa.
Well, Maddox tonight 6 for 181, which is a season high for him, and the 3 scores on the board. The 6 receptions is the most for the season for a single game as well. He had his high of 4 a couple of times before tonight. Now Permian's going to get a great return. This may go all the way. Brother Miller's going to take it. They are not going to catch Brother. Brothers to the 10, to the 5, and Permian is back on the board with a 102-yard return.
Well, it was gone from the moment that he got past the first wave. Watch right here, folks. He's going to break it right there. There's a perfect blocking hole, and it's over from here right now. It's just off to the races. Brother turning on the jets, and there's nobody on the Midland high sideline going to catch him in that open space. Another Panther touchdown. It's become a track meet right now, Barry.
Permian's last kickoff return was Robert Murray. Remember him? 2006 against Amarillo. This one goes 102 yards at the most opportune time for Permian, and will put them ahead with the extra point at 42-35.
By the way, Robert Murray on the coaching staff at Odessa High School right now.
How about that? So 6:26 to play in the ball game, and Permian is back on top at 42-35.
Every occasion, at any age, make it Rosa's Cafe for great food and good times. From generation to generation, we've been making memories for families across the Southwest with fresh and delicious comfort food, Rosa style. After all, life is better with Rosa's Cafe.
The Trans Global Productions and Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by the Permian Basin Area-Wide Phone Book, Texas Burger, Paul Evans Carpets, and Diamond Pump and Transport. Now let's see. Cameron Johnson of Keller took one back against Midland in 2014, so it's been a couple of years since they saw the backside of a jersey on a kickoff heading toward the end zone. Brother Miller at the most opportune time, Kyle, 102 yards.
And just turned on the jets, like I said in the replay, and good blocking. Let's give the Permian kickoff return team, the guys up front that are doing the blocking, let's give them some credit for giving Brother a hole to run through and getting him into the open space, and Brother did the rest. Great job, Brother Miller.
And no penalties.
And no penalties.
So many times you see a kickoff return and a hanky comes flying because of a block in the back or whatever. None of that stuff happened there. So Permian now will kick it again short and go out of bounds. No, it stayed in bounds, and Permian's going to come up with it.
Look at that.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Permian comes up with a fumble recovery. Michael Branham. This is a replay in opposite of what happened at Wolford
2 weeks ago. Absolutely. Another short pooch kick. They did. Midland High did not. You can see it. There it is right there. The guy just let it go right through his legs, and it was one of Barry's web shots. It just stopped with a little backspin, and as Barry said, Brenham on the spot for another Panther turnover. Now, I'd like to see a score here, but let's eat some of that clock too.
Keep it on the ground. Run it. How much time we have?
6:26.
Let's use about 5 minutes of it.
Look at there. Oh, this one's going to come back. This is going to be, I think, a hold right in the middle of the offensive line. The back judge threw it, and that is the call indeed.
Well, if you can.
Holding, 86 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Campbell Terry whistled for the flag for the hold. Well, if you can put 7 on the board here, Kyle, take about 3 minutes off, you're going to have a 14-point lead in about 3 minutes to play.
Yeah, at least a field goal. At least a field goal.
Well, you said earlier, hey, let's talk touchdown.
Let's talk touchdown, yep.
So the mark-off is going to be back to the 27-yard line, so it was from the line of scrimmage.
This Midland High defense has got to be wearing out a little bit, Barry. As much as they've been pounded on the ground by this offensive line, they've got to be wearing down a little bit. 10-yard penalty here may help us take a little more time off as well.
So far, the second most yardage given up on the ground by this Bulldog defense. They gave up 359 to DeSoto, and Permian's going to be very close to that.
Williams on the dive right off the right side for a nice gain on first down. You can see our replay right there. Good blocking up front for the Permian Panthers right there. Number 67 for Permian. I believe that's Isaac Solomon doing a good job getting upfield and making the block to spring Williams for about 8 or 9 yards.
Okay, it's second down. They've got to get down to the 9 for a first. They're at the 19. So they're basically no gain on first, making this a 2nd and 10 is what it comes out to. It's going to be a running play. Hammond's there in the slot to the right. Now it's going to go in motion. They're going to pitch it out to him. They are. Hammond is going to get by the first defender. It's going to still keep digging down to the 15-yard line. So Justin, good job of holding on to the ball, avoiding the first tackler and getting 4 yards and setting up a fairly manageable 3rd and 6.
This will be third and about 8 actually. Didn't get quite up past the 15, but again here, this could be a 4-point play right here, Barry. 4-point play.
They have to get down to the 7, not to the 9 for a first, so you're right, it's going to be 3rd and about 9. But again, are you going to throw it here? You've got Brother and Wynn there on the left. You have Williams, the sole back here behind him, and the 2 receivers here on the right.
Get Brother on the edge. No, throw it.
Really?
Yep. And looky there. That's a great job by Steve Steen right there. I tell you what, that was kind of an improvisation right there by the Permian Panthers and Steve Steen and Brother Miller, because he wanted to throw the slant. Thank you, Debbie, for the replay. You see up at the top the shadow of the receiver. He wanted to throw it there. It was covered. Now he's just improvising, and give Brother a little kudos for recognizing and getting on out into the flat. And Steve throwing him the ball, getting it down to the 1-yard line for the Panthers to have 1st and goal from that spot.
And they were able to maneuver around McAllister, the defensive back, who was able to push Miller out there at the 1-yard line. Now Kyle's kind of blocking the view here. I can't hardly see it, but they're going to go up the middle. And for the 3rd time, or the 4th time tonight, is that his 3rd or 4th rushing TD?
Oh, he's got 3, I believe. He had 2 in the first half.
Yeah, so Williams will get into the end zone from 1 yard out, and the 2 TD cushion for Permian will come with about 4.5 to play, and I got to feel pretty good.
Well, you got to feel good, but you can't relax, especially now. You got to talk to secondary about keeping everything in front of you and tackling inbounds and start making Midland high, barring the 2 timeouts they have left.
Permian about to put the 49th point on the board, and it's going to be blocked. Can be returned for 2 points. Got to come up with the ball, which they do, but the extra point is blocked, and hopefully with a 13-point lead at 4:22, it won't turn out to be that critical. So 4:22 to play in the ball game. Permian 48 and the Bulldogs 35.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper. You know, as long as it's been college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands. Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper, and I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop. And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition.
Good story, bro.
It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper, yeah? High five. I meant that too.
Now the Permian Panthers unofficially tonight have run for 338 yards. That's going to be right up there with their best efforts of the season. They had 384 against Franklin. They had 353 against El Paso Eastwood. And now unofficially tonight, 338. Well, the Branham recovery of the kickoff leads to a 17-yard, 4-play drive. The good thing on top of that, the 2 minutes and 4 seconds taken off the clock. Point after was no good, but Midland now trailing by 13, and now we're going to return it, and Permian's going to push him off. Thank you, Ellison is going to push him back all the way to the 20. He took him down like a steer at the rodeo, and Permian now with a 13-point lead has Midland in an 80-yard hole.
I'm kind of wondering if he didn't give a fair catch signal, because look at the guys in front of him. They're just standing there looking at him. They thought maybe he was going to do the same thing.
Well, not only that, there's no time taken off the clock.
And the rodeo just took place at about the 21-yard line, because Preston Ellison said, little doggy, you're going down right here.
Well, the Permian score came at 4:22. The clock still says 4:22. Should have been at least 7 seconds off the clock, but did not happen. So now over the middle, Anuskowitz will find his receiver, and there he goes all the way down to the 39-yard line of Permian. As once again he hooks up with Childress, and the Midland offense is on the board, is on the go.
Yeah, that's just a kind of a slant, drag coming across from the top part of the screen. Permian playing deep zone right now. Going to try to keep everything in front of them. Just make the tackle like you are right there and burn another 40 seconds off this clock right now.
Well, that was a 41-yard pass and run. And now on a first down play, it's going to be a gain of maybe 1. Let me look really quickly. Anuskowitz has thrown the ball only 18 times, completed 12 of them for 277 yards. He's going to be on the run because there's nobody to throw the ball to. He's going to be down to the Permian 20-yard line, finally taken down there by Tanner Adams.
Well, good pursuit by Tanner right there from his outside linebacker position, but I'd like to see us contain him a little more there and don't let him go. He can't beat you with his feet, though, and the clock is still running, so that's kind of a win-win situation for the Permian defense right now.
We're down under 3:30, and Anuskowitz changing the play. Has a couple of receivers there on the left, a couple more here on the right. Going to hand the ball off to the running back, and Hubert going to be ganged up by the Permian defenders and going to get him on the ground. And again, that clock's going to continue to run. Is coming up to make the hit was Herb Anderson.
Should we talk MVPs?
I was just thinking about it.
I think I'm going to go defensive MVP right now for the guy that's kind of been Johnny on the spot tonight, Tanner Adams, number 47.
So Tanner Adams, congratulations, our Dr. Pepper player of the game defensively. Permian could pick this one off. Instead, finds him wide open in the end zone and able to get behind the Permian defense. Julian Bowers on the board for the first time tonight. And now things are going to get kind of to the critical stage. Bowers with his third TD reception of the season, his second for a week in a row. But now that's going to tighten things up, and an onside kick coming with about 2:51 to play.
Well, you would think that they are going to bring the hands team in and look for that onside or a pooch. You got to make sure you get the ball here, no doubt about it.
2:51 to play in the ball game. 90 points on the board. Permian has 48 of them. The Bulldogs 42.
As a busy mom, I'm always all over Odessa. Lucky for me, so is Medical Center Health System. So when the kids needed flu shots and sports physicals, the clinic at Walmart was my first stop. Then Mr. Fix-It hit his thumb with a hammer last weekend. Fortunately, urgent care was close by. The big baby. And it's nice to know that Family Health Clinic is always there with quality care and flexible pricing. Whenever I need them, wherever I am, Medical Center Health System has my family covered. They're my one source for health.
Enjoy the best cheeseburger in town at Texas Burger.
Now that drive by the Midland Bulldogs didn't take them long. Minute 31 seconds, 4 plays, 80 yards. Boy, they have found some holes in that defense to exploit through the air, haven't they?
That was a concern. I had heard that. They were really concerned about this Midland High passing game. I think it's legitimate for real. I think the Midland High San Angelo game might be a up and down who can throw it the most in that ball game. I don't think they've played yet, have they?
Nope, they played. He threw for 392 the second week, threw for 334 against DeSoto. He's at 297 unofficially tonight, and they're going to kick it deep, and Permian's going to let it get into the end zone. Thank goodness. And with 2:51 now, the Permian running attack. Let's see, there's 2 timeouts remaining by the Bulldogs, which knowing Craig Yenser, he will call after the first and second play. And they're going to try to conserve because they've been able to score quickly. That last drive was a minute 31. They scored, minute 14, 1 minute even. So big strike offense tonight for Midland. So Permian has to get some first down.
Watch them crowd the line of scrimmage here, Barry. Let's see if they start rolling some people up and trying to stop the run game right now.
Now that extra point a moment ago now is going to come into play if Permian cannot keep the ball till the end of time. They're going to gain a couple here. Going to be 2nd and 8. Let's see if they call a timeout. They do not, surprisingly. So 2:35. Now we're counting down to 2:30. Permian's going to take their time. Steen's going to watch the play clock, which right now is at 23. Kyle, watch that if you would, and see at what point they snap the ball. I'm guessing it's going to be about 5 seconds or so, and use the full complement of time. But I think Midland, if they stop them here on 2nd down, will call a timeout. We're down to 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Going to pitch the ball out to Hammond, who's going to have the first down. Permian's going to keep the ball and keep it moving. So Hammond does get down. Wait a minute. Were they saying the ball came loose?
Yes, they did. It is loose, and it is Midland High football. Let's see.
Well, Hammond's down for the count as well. Let's watch the replay. I thought he was down before the ball came loose.
Yeah, he got around the corner. Good block. Got the ball there. Let's see. That ball is out.
It is out at the 38-yard line. So now Permian nursing a 6-point lead. Will need to find a way to stop Midland High. They have scored on a 49-yard pass, a 20-yard pass, a 57-yard pass, all here in the second half. They held the quarterback, Anuskowitz, to just a few yards in the third quarter, and then he came back to really come back with a vengeance in the fourth quarter. Well, they had Childress running wild and free, and he dropped the ball there at the goal line, going to be 2nd and 10. They have gotten absolutely no pressure. I mean, that front line of Nanez, Payan, Phillips, Vasquez, and Hiding have kept him relatively free the whole night.
Virtually no pass rush right now from the Permian defense. Maybe a timely blitz here might help. Here it comes from the top. See if he gets there.
They're going to be down to the 18-yard line. He finds Childress for the 1st and 10, down to 148. Midland does have the 2 timeouts remaining. Permian has 1. That was a gain of 20. Down to the 28-yard line. They have set the ball rather. And the clock is now running at 1:46. Well, Permian had a 13-point lead. Thought it was pretty safe. And then all of a sudden, boom. But they had a chance as well to have the first down and keep the ball, and it came loose. The only turnover tonight.
Timeout. Midland High. 2nd team timeout.
So you're calling the play here as the defensive coordinator. What do you say?
Bring some pressure here and see if you can get a turnover or a mistake or even a sack. Going to hand the ball off. Wow. Going
to get down to the 9-yard line. Then Anuskowitz tries to put his helmet in there on somebody. It's going to be a 3rd and 1. Clock is down to 1:14. Now, you know, when they've been able to find some running room for Hubert, they could very well just hand the ball off to number 4. But, man, watch out for Mannix. He's matched up there at the top of the screen against Adeyemi, I believe. And that's where he's been throwing the ball tonight. Here comes the pressure. Anuskowitz is going to have to run it. He's going to have the first down, and he's going to be down to the 6-yard line. So he got 3, but the pressure forced him to pull the ball and run, and we're down to 48 seconds.
The clock's going to start when the ball is placed and the down box is put on the at the spot.
44 seconds. Down to 38. Down to 35. Down to 34.
Pressure.
Well, for the first time tonight, Courtney McMarion, the senior, one of the all-time leading receivers in Midland High history, has caught a ball, and it came at the most inopportune time for Permian, but the most opportune time for Midland High, as they have now knotted up the score at 48-48, and it's going to be up to Ignacio Correa to see if he can put Midland High ahead with 29 seconds to play.
Timeout. Midland High. 3rd team timeout.
So Ignacio Correa, could put the 1 point needed to get the Midland High Bulldogs ahead of Permian, and he has done so with 29 seconds to play in the ball game. Midland is on top of Permian, 49-48. Jackson and Uskowitz tonight has thrown their 16 for 23, 1 interception, 324 yards, and the most ever 6 passing touchdowns against Permian. What a performance by the senior quarterback as he led Midland back from a 13-point deficit. Permian had the lead at 48-35 with 4 minutes and 22 seconds. So, in about, 4 minutes, he put his Bulldogs on the board twice. The missed extra point by Permian, the difference, as Permian now trailing by a point with 29 seconds to play. This kick return is going to take up some yardage and some time as they will start now from the 29-yard line. Wow, what a turn of events.
Yep, absolutely, and you've got 23 seconds and a timeout to work with. If you can get something in the middle of the field and work a couple of plays, you're going to have to kill it at least once and get set, and then get down there to where maybe you can kick a game-winning field goal to put yourself up by 3. This is not done yet, folks. We'll see what happens here.
Well, our Dr. Pepper offensive player of the game is going to be Steve Steen. He only completed 1 pass tonight, but that got him on the board the last time. He's run for 105 and 3 scores, and now we're going to lean on the junior quarterback to go from his 29-yard line, and they're going to have to throw the ball and get out of bounds in the process. They do this one to Brother Miller. He's going to be up to the 38-yard line, so it's going to be a second down, but of more importance is the 19 seconds left.
Well, that's a good play, 19 seconds, so you can still work the sidelines. You have a timeout. The middle of the field's wide open right now.
Well, yeah, of course. You've only got the 1 timeout. Steen's going to run it and try to get out of bounds, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to. Did he throw it?
Yes, he did. Incomplete down here to the sideline.
Yep, so it's going to be bring a third down now from the 36-yard line. There are 13 seconds to play in the ball game. So Steve Steen, our offensive player of the game, Tanner Adams, our defensive players of the game. Congratulations to both of them. I'm sure Steve will trade that nice honor for about 35 yards and a winning field goal kick by his kicker.
Yeah, let's see what they do here now. With 2 wideouts to each side. Midland High got 2 deep safeties about 30 yards from the field, from the line of scrimmage. So let's see what they do.
Yep, so third down, he's looking to throw. Miller could not hang on to it, so the ball game comes down to 8 seconds. And a whole bunch of yards needed, and fourth down. Well, quite the effort tonight. Midland jumped on top by 7-0. Permian tied it up. Went 14-7, 14-14 at half. 21-21 at half. And then here in the second half, it's gone from 21 all to 49-48 as things just completely opened up. But Anuskowitz just found some open spots there, and Permian was not able to control the passing game.
They're going to really back off here now and see if they can keep everything in front.
That was the fourth down play, and Midland will win their second conference game of the season, and Permian will fall to 0-2. They will travel up to Amarillo, Tascosa next week for a very important date with the Tascosa Rebels, who won their ball game tonight. Midland High is open next week, so they will have a couple of weeks to savor this Permian victory by 49-48. Do you have any final thoughts?
Well, give Midland High credit, Barry. They did not quit when they were down twice, once 14, once 13 points. They found a way to get back in the game and get it done. And, it was a barn burner, no doubt about it.
Well, our Trans-Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced and directed as always by Bob Bailey. The lovely Debbie Bailey handles the replay. Camera guys Charlie Pierce and Isaac Rivas up on top. Grant Barrage in the north end zone. Robert Carrillo in the south end zone. Pete and John Delgado, our grips. Now for Larry Thornhill, our statistician, Kyle Hubbard, our analyst. Barry Sykes saying thanks for being with us. Well, needed to have a Permian victory tonight. We thought it would take a playoff-type effort to get it. Permian had a 13-point lead, failed to get the extra point. Midland High took advantage and wins the ball game tonight here at Ratliff by a final of 49-48.